मैं वहाँ ये कॉर्नर पे खड़ा हूँ, ये इसलिए चेयर निकल रहा है।
तो पता चला ये लोग बीच में आ गए तो नीचे सिर आ गए।
लैंपिंग के लिए नीचे चले गए, इधर बहुत जगह काम है।
उस तरफ नहीं है ना?
हाँ, मैं ऊपर ही चला जाएगा।
ये भी लेना है, ये भी लेना है, ये सभी लेना है और ये भी लेना है, जियो टैग।
चालू करना, अभी टाइम हो गया है ना?
हाँ क्यों लाइट चलो?
नहीं मेरा वाला टाइम हो गया है।
हाँ हो गया
तो
टाइम।
चालू कर दो।
नहीं अभी और ये है ना 10-15 मिनट है।
15 मिनट तो रहेंगे सर।
खत्म होता है ना।
7-10 बजेगा।
सब लोग आ गए हैं, सब तो आ गए हैं।
सर आ गए।
वो सब तो हमेशा बढ़िया है।
हाँ
एकदम
Follow.
Hello, mic check. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, welcome.
बोलो। लाइन बंद है ना अभी, बोलो स्पीक तो कर।
Hello, hello, mic check, 1 2 3, hello. हॅलो सर, हॅलो. चेक करा आवाज कसा येतोय. लास्ट 5 मिनिट्स बाकी आहेत.
बोल एक मिनिट.
हॅलो, हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, हॅलो, हॅलो, हॅलो. क्या हो गया भाई. हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, हॅलो. हॅलो, हॅलो, 1 2 3, माइक चेक, माइक चेक. हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, माइक चेक. हॅलो, हॅलो, हॅलो. हॅलो, डॉक्टर. हॅलो, हॅलो, माइक चेक, हॅलो, हॅलो. हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, माइक चेक. हॅलो, 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 1 2 3 4, माइक चेक. हॅलो, हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, माइक चेक, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, माइक चेक. हॅलो, हॅलो, 1 2 3 4. हॅलो, हॅलो. डॉक्टर व्ही एन बेडेकर, इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ मॅनेजमेंट स्टडीज, ठाणे. हॅलो, हॅलो. हॅलो, हॅलो, माइक चेक, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. लास्ट 5 minutes to start event.
यूट्यूब.
Yes, around who is there?
महेश तेरी बाजू की सीट पकड़ के रख बाजू की सीट पकड़ के रख
सर बुला रहे हैं।
वापस चेक करना पड़ेगा।
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Good morning, everyone. So, I hope everyone has filled the registration form. If not, contact our volunteers. Thank you.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Vijay Bedekar Sir, ma'am, and our esteemed guests, distinguished faculty, dear students, and all present here today. I am Anjali.
I'm Misbah.
We are first year MMS students, and it is a great honor to welcome you all on behalf of Dr. V.N. Bedekar Institute of Management Studies for the National Conference on the theme of the AI Revolution for Business and Education. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of AI in today's world cannot be overstated. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries, solving complex problems, and unlocking new opportunities. It enhances efficiency, drives innovation, and helps us make more informed decisions by analyzing vast amount of data. From healthcare and education to finance and manufacturing, AI is not just a tool of the future, it's shaping the present, improving lives, and creating opportunities for growth. Embracing AI is not just a choice, but a necessity for staying competitive in an increasingly digital world. So let's delve into today's topic.
Before we begin, I would like to invite our dignitaries to kindly come forward and perform the traditional lamp lighting. Thank you. I would request everyone to stand for a brief moment of prayer. Now I request our director, Dr. Nitin Joshi sir, our director general, Dr. Guru Prasad Murthy sir, and our chief guest, Mr. Sharad Gangal, and our guest of honor, Mr. Mukun Shastri, and our keynote speaker, Mr. Binesh Nair, to take a seat on the dais. Request Dr. Nitin Joshi sir to felicitate our guest with a token of appreciation. Our chief guest. Our guest of honor, Mukun sir. And our keynote speaker, Binesh sir.
Now, I would like to invite our director, Dr. Nitin Joshi sir, for the welcome address.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Chairman, sir, Dr. Binesh. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for being here. Welcome our Chief Guest, Shri Gangal, sir, our Keynote Speaker, Mr. Nair, sir, our own Director General, panel member, and faculty, and dear students. When we discussed about this topic last year, probably it was, we never thought that there is something called deep seek. We never thought that our president will be talking about developing our own AI. And while I was discussing with madam today, that AI can have a lot of threats with cyber and hacking and all that. So we were discussing so many things about AI. So last year we just thought that we should have something because this is very relevant. And today when I see the newspapers are flooded with AI. So I thought our theme, choosing of theme itself was pretty appropriate, and the kind of revolution it is bringing in business and the kind of revolution it is going to bring in education. So because a management institution is linked with business and education both, therefore we thought that this would be an appropriate topic for the day. So our thought process here is that what is the kind of impact this digital technologies are bringing on the physical asset like companies. So thought process was, my request is if you can see the presentation as well. So we were talking about what is the impact of digital technologies on physical asset-light companies. So why I am talking about physical asset-light companies, because few years back, we were only thinking that digital will only impact physical asset-light companies, not the manufacturing too much, not very heavy asset kind of, or very weighty asset kind of companies. So that was the thought process. So we identified that the technologies are impacting in terms of scalability, in terms of operational flexibility, in terms of operational efficiencies, in terms of market response, the sustainability and the strategic partnership. So this was the thought. And companies like advertising companies, companies like infotech companies, all were getting impacted. This was the thought. So when we see today's rule makers include companies like Netflix, companies like Tesla, companies like Spotify, and many more of these kind of things. Why they are the rule makers? They are becoming the rule makers because they are harnessing the power of users, first of all, users with the help of data and AI. And why they are doing? Because they wanted to have a competitive edge in the marketplace. So when you talk about the impact, so they have a competitive edge. Everybody knows them, and we all know that these are when you talk about the lives of these companies, they would be only short life companies, I mean 5 years, 10 years old back. And we have old companies, and their turnovers, if you see, they have grown exponentially. So our earlier feelings earlier were that digital technologies will largely impact asset-light companies because digital here, there, and all that, and probably it could be impacting the information sector. So this was the big thought. But thanks to the mobile technology in the last 2 decades has enabled innovation. Innovation has led to disruptions, and that disruption and innovation together has led to a lot of transformation in the models. And this is how business models have started changing. And the focus in the last 2 decades, earlier the focus largely was B2B, the focus has shifted to B2C. So that is one of the major changes, and this is happening because of the mobile technology. So now the businesses, if you really see, are at the next inflection points. This is going to happen. And who are going to do this? So there are a lot of technologies. Some of them could be including cloud. The other could be your algorithms. Something could be hardware and softwares. Something could be GenAI. Something could be data and applications. And believe me, these technologies individually or in combination can create a big revolution in the global marketplaces. And they have already started doing it, and they are doing it. So what is this all about when you talk about revolution and all that? What is happening actually? So the thought was, there are two values which are getting created. Two values. One is they are creating values and they are also capturing value. So when I say creating values, so it is about designing products or services that solves customers' problems and deliver a real value. So they are actually trying to identify the insights of the customer, not the basic needs kind of thing, basic wants. They are getting into the insights of the customer, understanding customers a little more, and then probably delivering real values. So that is the kind of value creation they are doing at every touch point. The other part is, are they capturing value for themselves? So they are also capturing a lot of value for themselves, and it is about implementing strategies. So they are implementing strategies to monetize the value which is getting created. So it is not that they are creating value free of cost. They are monetizing that value, and definitely, so all the areas like pricing strategy, marketing strategies, or positioning strategies, and even distribution channels probably are getting impacted with that kind of. So they are capturing value there. So what is the future? So where is the future? So while I was going through a book on the fusion strategy by Dr. V. Govindarajan, so I understood that the fusion frontier is the future state in which industrial products, because of the B2B kind of scenario, the industrial products are infused with sensors, softwares, and real-time telematic functionalities through seamless convergence of physical and digital domains. So this has already started happening, and more is going to happen. We have already talking about Industry 5.0. So this will definitely improve the productivity of the industrial assets, and the law of competitive advantages are changing, rewarding those who have the most robust real-time insights. So my focus is real-time insights. In my entire presentation, if you really see, it will be real-time, and real-time. So are we in a position to get into real-time thought process? So today's business means we have been hearing about new product development, companies like 3M and many companies were focusing on innovation and new product. So what I'm trying to tell is, today's businesses cannot simply design and deliver excellent products. They will have to satisfy specific needs of the customer. And probably we have been hearing something called mass customization. And I'm not talking about only to the extent of Dell kind of mass customization. We are talking about going beyond and beyond in terms of Amazon, in terms of Netflix, in terms of Spotify, in terms of all these companies. And I will show you some examples. So all this can be enabled by computing capabilities. So one important thing is technology. The other important thing is AI. So if this AI as one of the technologies and other technologies coupled together, in terms of quantum computing, maybe more powerful, will be in a position to create more powerful devices and systems. And why I'm talking about all this is, I'll just share with you. But before that, what is the kind of opportunity space for us and for our students? That is very important. So currently, as per the research, around 25% of the market is already captured by the way of computing and by way of coding. But the opportunity space is huge, 75%. So that is the opportunity. And therefore, when we talk about this kind of conferences, we should start thinking can I capture some part of that 75%? So I was telling you why I'm talking about all that, when I'm talking about the powerful systems and other things. So there are three important laws. One is Moore's law, the second is Metcalfe's law, and the third is Glider's law. Now, Moore's law is talking about that number of transistors on a microchip doubles about every 2 years. Means he's talking about increasing the computing speed. So have you witnessed this in the past, that computing speed has been growing every 6 months probably? So computing speed is increasing. Metcalfe's law is saying that the telecommunication network is expanding. So we are also seeing 2G, 3G, 4G and now 5G. So computing and then connecting. So connecting is also, so compute, connect, these two things are there. Now Gliders is saying that bandwidth is also expanding. So if these three things are expanding, I don't think businesses will shrink. They will expand more and more, and probably we won't know what could be the kind of expansions these businesses will see, because these three things are, we have witnessed these three things. So fusion is the future. So when I say fusion, what is meaning of fusion? So I'm saying fusion is not in isolation. Fusion is with the existing business. Can we overlay the technology on the existing thought process, coupled with a lot of things, lot of technologies? So we are talking about, are you capturing data and are you capturing enough meaningful data? Second is, are you in a position to convert that data into data graphs? What data graph is, I'll tell you. And third is, if you can have some algorithms, and then everything has to be dynamic, not static. And then the fusion. So if this is possible and this is the future, so we have to start thinking of creating new business model around these kind of thought processes. And when I talk about data graph, I'm saying by capturing the data, the real-time data of products in use, real-time data of product in use is important. Means the consumption pattern. We have to understand the consumption pattern. Companies can create data graphs which capture relationships, links, and interpersonal relationships between the company and its customers. So this is very important now. And more data graphs are being worked upon, and this is how more personalized recommendations are going to be seen. So the digital impact is going to be huge in terms of scale, in terms of scope, and in terms of speed. When I say scale, so I'm not talking about production scale, I'm talking about the data scale. When I talk about scope, it is not limited to production industry or manufacturing or services. It is, scope is to any industry. And when I talk about the speed, I can tell you, earlier we were talking about linear. Today, people are talking about exponential speed and exponential growth. And you have seen all these companies growing exponentially. So that is the kind of change, and that is the kind of speed, scope, and scale world is going to witness shortly. It's already witnessing. So when data graphs becomes more valuable, when scale rises, scope expands and speed increases. So this is where more and more data graphs are going to be in use, and that's what I thought. So one of the best examples of what I'm trying to tell you is about John Deere. If you are aware of John Deere as a company, they are a tractor manufacturing company or agriculture equipment manufacturing company. So they were largely manufacturing tractors. So while doing this, when they went to the farms and they saw the challenges of the farmers, they saw that there is a lot of weeds which is growing along with the important or the useful plants. So to avoid that, the technology which was available was the drone technology. So farmers were using drone to kill the weeds. But in the process, some good plants were also getting killed. So you are not creating enough value in that process. So what they did? So they used something called AI, they used something called technology, and this is what they could do. So what they did, so they started capturing photographs of all the weeds. So all types of weeds, whatever is available in that area, they started capturing all the photographs. and all those photographs were fed into the system, and with the help of AI, it was shared that the nozzle will open, the spray of the nozzle will open only when a right weed is detected. So now, by this, if you really see the innovation, merging the digital and industrial domains with data and AI, result is customer profit boosted while herbicide use is reduced by 60%. So you are not spraying unnecessarily. You are only spraying whatever is required. You are saving money and you are creating more and more value for the customer. So this is where you will have to go beyond your normal thought processes. You will have to create more and more value, probably in real time. So this was one of the examples which I thought, I'll give. The law is, again, I'm talking about that artificial intelligence plus real-time data is going to be the new business model. So, and leading to fusion strategies. Now, probably we can discuss later, or probably you can read the book on the fusion strategy for your great understanding. But before I close, I thought I'll just share with you the strategy now to strategy next. So data-rich insights plus new products is going to be the customer experience. This is the broad strategy. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that only technology, only technology, only technology. I'm not saying use ABCD of the technology. And when I talk about ABCD, I'm saying don't use A for AI kind of thing. B is the blockchain, C is the cloud, and D is the data. So I'm not saying I'm not focusing on ABCD strategy, but I'm saying fuse them. So the three strategy principles and rules. So the three principles which are so very important include, so principles I have made it very clear, they are separate. So track product in use and develop data graphs. Principle 1, track product in use and develop data graphs. Leverage data network effects. Leverage data network effects. And third is recommend hyper personalized, not personalized, hyper personalized solutions in real time. So these are the principles, and there are some rules to it. So rules are, they are linked with the principles. So focus on real time data on product in use, rule 1. Rule 2 is leverage data network effects across the customers, not limited to your channel and all, across the customers. It could be any customer. Third is analyze data graphs with AI to deliver personalized recommendation. This is the rule of the game. And one more example is there, but I think with the time as one of the constraints, I'm just skipping this. This is an example where Honeywell is doing a lot of things for Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa, we all know, is in Dubai and one of the tallest building. And Honeywell does a lot of energy management system for Burj Khalifa. But how Honeywell has done a lot of technology interventions to reduce the consumption of energy and thereby creating value for the customer. This is the example, but probably I can skip just now. To unlock new business values across multiple stages, there are 4 different levels, starting from your basic sales to getting into customization, CRM and all. So I'm not getting into the details of that. Probably my slides will be available to refer. So the most important thing, again, coming out of Mr. or Dr. V. Govindarajan, because I read him a lot. So there are 3 boxes. And I think we also had a presentation by our own faculty members in one of our journal clubs, past, present and future. So when I talk about the past, selectively forget the past. Don't forget it completely. Learnings have to be there. So selectively forget the past, but we also need to be in present. So manage the present very effectively. While managing the present, we have to think of future and we have to create a future. So this is the thought process which I am leaving. But before that, I wish to bring in our own thought process, which is so much there in our IKS, which is our Indian knowledge system. No? Brahma is talking about creation, where I'm talking about creating the future. So Brahma is talking about that. I'm saying initiates the AI revolution through innovation and design. The Vishnu, which is talking about the present, preservation. So ensure that AI technologies are deployed responsibly and sustainably. So responsible behavior in the present and Mahesh, which is talking about destruction and transformation. So disrupt and transform whatever is required to a continuous cycle of renewables. So this is what I thought. And just to share with you, our next year's theme, So I take the privilege of even declaring the next year's theme of the conference. We at VPM group of institution have a process of declaring the next year's theme. We plan the things probably what could be there, and so we have as a process in all our institutions, be it Joshi Bedekar Madam's institution or our science college or law college. So our next year theme is in line with this IKS, and it is saying that integrating Indian knowledge system to modernize business management practices through innovation and technology. So this is going to be our theme for the next. So we are still talking about IKS. We are talking about modernizing because Gen next is talking about modernization, and we are talking about technology and innovation, which is in thing. So this is going to be there. Probably we'll release it after Dr. Guru Prasad Murthy's session. So thank you very much. With this thoughts, I thank all of you and wish the conference all the best. Thank you so much.
Now, I would like to welcome our Director General, Dr. Guru Prasad Murthy, sir, to give us insights about AI in business and education.
Good morning, everybody. I think crowd is less or energy is less, I don't know. Good morning. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The Honorable Director, Dr. Nitin Joshi, the Chief Guest, Mr. Gangal, dignitaries on the dais, and teachers, learned teachers of BRIMS, and my student friends, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to present to you another side of the impact of AI, namely education. And I will share with you in about 10 to 15 minutes maximum, a few slides to give you my idea as to what its impact might be. In fact, AI has become so important that AICT has declared this year 25 as year of AI, and trying to create a forum for consultation and collaboration on issues of common interest concerning AI interface education as an adjunct to NEP Policy 2020. In that broader context, I present to you these thoughts. India AI market 18 billion by 2027. CAGR is about 20%. 10 million graduates produced by India per year, equal to the population of Denmark and Singapore taken together. A leader in AI on many counts, future contender with a high skill index, world ranking. India hosts to 16% of global talent. Skill penetration is highest in the world. And it's a paradox of poverty amidst the potential of plenty, because we are also hosting the largest number of poor people in the world. So this paradox has always remained, and I don't know we can solve it in the future. Implications of AI on education, on teachers. AI can help teachers in almost all teaching activities. That's what the statement is today. It may be more than what I am saying. AI quality likely to be similar or even better, faster and smarter. But it can never be superior to human beings. Again, that's what it says, that the animate cerebrum is more powerful than the inanimate cerebrum. Teacher relieved of mundane routine task of every semester cycle or day's routine course. On research, AI can be great help to generate the required inputs faster, better. AI can even draft various portions required, multiple languages if necessary. This is already happening in the medical profession and legal profession. Drafting, pleading, and conveyancing is done by AI. And the radiologist gives a report waiting for the machine to say what the X-ray says. AI can contribute to research design instead of teachers. Teachers can concentrate on creativity, innovation, and improved academic and non-academic progress of students. Non-academic means extracurricular, intramural, sports, and the like. AI revolution can rejuvenate the revolution of rising aspirations, and teachers can help students to realize dreams of students. In PhD, for example, the literature review is one which can be carried out easily by AI, amongst other things. On students, AI has ready answers to all queries, including homework. The question for a teacher would be, if I were a teacher, what homework should I give the student that he cannot find the answer in AI? Individual students' career journey available with feedback on real-time basis, slide by slide. Assessment can be hived off to AI with due checks and balances. Question paper setting can enjoy variation and avoid duplicity of all sorts, because sometimes same questions are repeated in university examinations and there are complaints of students. On educational institutions, readiness for change, which is the greatest challenge. Improved speed of response action. When we say improved speed of response action, historically we were saying in terms of minutes. In Geo services, when it was launched, he said customers per minute, customers per second. And in future, if compute permits, you may have to talk of nanosecond, because whoever runs faster is the winner. State of the art syllabi. Change in syllabi has to be much, much, much faster than what university does today. In the university, sometimes it takes years and a few months. That might be too slow for us to cope with change. Faculty development to suit the new world. This is what the AICT is also planning. Student sovereignty, choice of courses based on their strengths and passion. Today, even historically we were, and even today, the students are almost straitjacketed into a given set of subjects planned by teachers or the academic council. It does not suit the passion or the interest of the students. But with AI, I hope this mix of courses which students do would be their choice and not the institute's choice. And prepare to invest in infrastructure, physically and financially. Challenges for all, ethical issues, moral and academic integrity. In fact, Dr. Ramesh, Vice Chancellor of NMIMS University, has raised this issue in one of his press interviews. While AI can help research in many ways and teachers are relieved of their day-to-day duties, how will they be evaluated? And there has to be consideration of ethical issues, moral and academic integrity. There may be laws for that also. What will teachers and students do? If students have all the answers with google.com or with AI, what will they do? Bureaucracy in education, government and private sector. Both have to change. Private sector bureaucracy sometimes is worse than the government bureaucracy. New assessment modes to be evolved. Then investments required for powerful servers, GPU and CPU. Government initiative, government has already launched its initiative, one through NEP 2020 and second through AICT declaring 25 as the year of AI. Fiscal incentives, we don't know today in the budget whether something will come by way of accelerated depreciation, investment allowance, fresh initiatives under various provisions of the Income Tax Act. Then cloud-based facility, if the investments are too huge, we are aware about this. Economies of investment, private sector and the motivation. Private sector investment is lagging. What the government is going to do to initiate private sector investment in education in general and AI in particular remains to be seen. And robust AI-powered labs are required, for which again investments are required. I mean, the newspapers have been carrying day-to-day basis articles on these topics. Life easy for teachers and students. Hence, teachers focus on different things. In fact, AACSB recommends these thoughts for purposes of accrediting educational institutions even now. Thought or high thought leadership. Social impact. Creativity and innovation as key to economic development, key to the progress of AI in our economic development, social life. Inclusiveness, can spread to as many people as possible by press of a button. Economies of scale. Institution building. In fact, the chairman of the NAC committee, which came here, said, what is the role of individuals in institution building? The individual routines, reading, writing, recitation, all of us do. What is the extra that you are contributing to national development and institutional development? And better quality of life for teachers and students. The more the relaxed time available for doing creative work, it's a great thing for teachers. That's the life of a teacher, really speaking. Business also has been in action. Companies like Imbibe, personalized learning journey. These are niches that they have created for themselves. So these are lessons for teachers and students to see what niche they can occupy if they want to play an important role in AI. Vedantu, live teaching with AI-powered assessments, screen by screen, student by student. InnerScore, skill development using gamification, customized learning space for mass customization. Mass customization is reaching the last customer that you have on the queue. And rekindle, storytelling, way of life, blend tradition with modernity. This refers to Indian knowledge systems in the sense Panchatantra is one of the oldest versions of storytelling exercises to learn principles of management. And the only publication which has been published in multiple languages, the largest number of circulation after the Bible. So this is a part of the Indian heritage along with many other contributions. Companies using AI as agents. Now we have AI agents. And this is wonderful. An example to us is what we might do in this institute if AI becomes a reality. For J&J, drug discovery. For drug discovery trials take a long time in pharma industry. Hex Pharmaceuticals, for instance, I've interacted with many people in the past, takes 10 to 12 years for a drug trial to come into fruition, really speaking. And today it can be done in a matter of few hours with the help of AI to find out what is the combination of various elements that are required in order to start the drug discovery ab initio, that is from the beginning. Moody's financial AIs, which will tackle financial issues item by item. Then eBay, code written and item sellers, they've got agents which will do the selling part. Deutsche Telekom, ask me anything. This AI, ask me anything for employees. If they have any questions on the company or anything related to their day-to-day work, they can ask the AI and AI will give its answer. It's like a FAQ, but a monitored FAQ through AI. And Constantino, AI agents as digital workforce. If I imagine that to happen here, you have an AI for attendance, you may have an AI for ADC, you may have an AI for something else. So it means delegating authority to the inanimate cerebrum with the hope that it will function as effectively as man. The last two slides. The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser focused on competing to win. Laser focused on competing to win reminds me of Geo saying that number of customers per second. I think that might be an old concept for the future. With compute facilities, you may be able to divide time into its component parts of a nanosecond also. We have to wait and see whether AI can do that. So then it will be power not by the hour, not by the second, but power by the nanosecond. Internationally, pricing is done for consultancy and other things, including aircraft hiring, power by the hour. China is an example of economies of scale, reaching the maximum number of customers in decreasing response time. Scope and speed. Speed refers again response in decreasing response time. In fact, nobody can match the production capabilities of China, so the unit cost is so low. And if it reaches large number of customers in decreasing response time, you can imagine two things. One, unit cost profitability and the margins per unit of activity or per second, as the case might be. And that is creative disruption, which China has already created, much to the displeasure perhaps of the rest of the world, particularly the United States of America. I commend these thoughts to you for the seminar and for your future activities. And I wish you all the best for the day and in your careers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Now it is time to launch our multidisciplinary journal, Srujan. So for that, I would request Dr. Murthy, sir, to do the honors. I also request Dr. Smita Jabe, ma'am, and also our dignitaries to join us on the dais. Please welcome.
The dignitaries can sit. Well, I'm very happy that the 10th issue of Srujan 2025 is released today. So big round of applause to the whole team. We have improved the Srujan edition from day one and brought it to a level of good reputation, high erudition, cross-disciplinary, and capturing the theme of the year. This year's theme was AI and its impact on various segments of the economy and how we are going to cope with it. And the articles have come from learned scholars from all over the country. There's a team which works on it. Dr. Jape, I'm the chief editor, but Dr. Jape heads the whole research aspect along with Dr. Dinesh and the other team members who have contributed to the articles. They have to work throughout the year and then this product comes out. So please be reminded of Srujan. If you students or teachers want to contribute learned articles or any other person wants to contribute learned articles to this, we will be happy. This will be on the next year's theme, which has already been announced. And I wish Srujan all the best for the 11th edition. Dr. Dinesh, Dr. Jape, in advance I'm telling you. And I hope we'll come out with still better version and more erudite, learned Srujan which will come out so that people can read it and enjoy it and also use it for research for research and for research. It goes on multiplying. Thank you.
Now we'll be launching our next year's theme. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, our dignitaries. So, Ms. Ba, aren't you excited for the next year's theme?
Yes, Anjali, I will be looking forward it. We are honored to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Sharad Gangal, an esteemed consultant since 2021, brings decade of leadership experiences across the top organization, his career plan key role, including the HR leadership at the Asian Paints, Cadbury India, and the HDFC Standard Life. He retired as the Executive VP and the Executive Council member at the Thermax Limited 2010 and 2020. Currently, he serves as the chairman of the TGSB Bank, guiding its growth with a forward-thinking approach to technology and the banking innovation. His leadership is shaping more efficient and the customer-centric future. Let's welcome Mr. Gangal and continue striving for the technological excellence in the banking.
A very good morning to all of you, and at the outset, that's better. Many thanks for the Institute to invite me. It's nostalgic because I did my graduation from the same campus, did my law on the same campus. For post-graduation, I had to go to Mumbai University. I never thought, and probably the organizers must have never thought, that between the time they sent the invitation and today, so much would be talked about AI. The changes, those are happening at meteoric speed, probably are mesmerizing everybody. And therefore, it brings us to a situation where, the geopolitical situation around the globe in last 2 years has created an uncertain future like never before. I teach a course in Tata Institute in the HR school on employee relations and global employee relations. And I was telling my students that last 2 years I have not been able to refer to any textbook because nothing is happening as per textbook and concepts are being rewritten by what is being practiced. Normally they say no theory is theory unless it can be practiced. But today what is happening in the world, the practice seems to be preceding theory because there can be interests which are beyond what common sense would tell us. As a management graduate, all of you are expected, and including me, to deal with ambiguity. That is the purpose of MBA education or any post-graduation education. And never before ambiguity has been of this order as it is today. Till yesterday, we were saying fossil fuel and climate change. Today, we are saying DEI is no more required. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So things of yesterday are getting challenged today, and that is going to be the challenge to students as to what are you going to advocate and what are you going to propagate. In the advocacy and inquiry theory of dialogue, probably they're interchanging, and that's becoming a reality. My limited brush with this domain of AI, sir, has been in the area of doing a lot of intelligent automation in manufacturing, in the manufacturing sector, for the simple reason that I spent most of my career in human resources, but in the manufacturing sector, except for HDFC Life, when that industry was growing at 85% CAGR, and it required a different kind of human resources processes to bring in people when the industry was facing a 7% to 8% attrition per month with 85% CAGR in business. And it meant automation coming into manufacturing and service sector since then. I remember in Thermax, welding is a process, and it's all of you should know that's becoming the scarcest skill in India. And therefore, the company had to introduce a robotic welder, and for the first time, we saw a robotic welder in the Sri City factory in Andhra Pradesh. And it replaced 30 jobs, 35 jobs. One robo replaced 35 jobs. So what it does, it works 24/7, 365 days. There is no tea break. There is no union agreement. There is no convenience break. And it keeps the work ready for employees when they come in the morning by working at night. And therefore, what was spoken about by earlier speakers, Dr. Murthy and Dr. Nitin Joshi, thanks for it, about scope, scale, and I would like to add, and they talked about speed, I would like to add skill to it. The challenge to all of us, including me, is going to be upskilling ourselves constantly. Because unless we upskill ourselves, we will become irrelevant and will become a dinosaur. And therefore, the challenge to you young minds here is as to how do you develop different perspectives and imbibe newer skills into you. And it is like, going back to basics. If you take compensation, and Dr. Nitin Joshi spoke about value creation. So what is value creation? Value creation is where the customer or the consumer is ready to give you a consideration, means a price, which will be more than your compensation, to put it a very simple equation. If the value created by us is more than our compensation, there is a chance we may survive. But if we create a value which is less than what we get, probably we will become redundant and the industry will close down. You know why? Today, even capital can't decide whether the industry will run. Shareholders can't decide. It is only the customer and consumer who decides. The customer decided that Kodak will be no more, and it is the customer who has put Nokia on oxygen. So therefore, what we deliver to the customer the best, with the use of modern tools which have been spoken about, is going to be really the future of the industry and future of our survival too. Products will undergo change. Products will undergo change based what I said on consumer preference. The issue was what Dr. Nitin Joshi talked about, insights and real-time insights. No product can be created without a customer insight or a consumer insight. You can't create something out of your passion which the consumer will not prefer to buy or give you a compensation for. And therefore, are AI tools going to be useful in that? I think so, certainly. In these areas, because reading the mind, all of us know that if you keep the Siri on an iPhone and you talk about leather shoes, and tomorrow you get something on your WhatsApp in terms of where the best footwears are. So this is reading the mind, and sometimes it's scary because it trespasses your privacy. But at the same time, you have to appreciate how intelligent the machine is, and that is what is machine learning. And therefore, when 5 years ago, when I was still a practicing manager, we were hearing about virtual reality and robotics. Today, I think AI has taken over. Machine learning was talked about, AI has taken over, and AI is actually inputting machine learning, according to me, whatever I read. Yesterday's, the economic survey of India and the president's speak is covered a lot of things on AI. And if you read today's Business Standard, it says that between 21-22 and today, in India, there has been a 62% increase on patents in this subject, in this domain. That's mind-boggling. A country which was dragging its feet on patents generally is able to increase patents by 62% on such just one domain. And that shows its importance. That shows also the changing mindset as far as India is concerned. It again says that there's a scary thing, that overall in next 2 to 3 years, 30% of the jobs will be taken over by AI. But more importantly, 68% of workers' jobs will be taken over by AI. Even if you discount it by 50%, a 30% workers' jobs taken over by AI, what it means one really doesn't know. And therefore, I think the boundaries between business and livelihood are blurring. Livelihood is coming under challenge, and therefore it talked about, one of the presentations talked about ethics, and therefore how ethical it is. But I don't think anybody has time in today's world to think about ethics on this ground. I'm not talking of morality, I'm talking of ethics, because jobs are going to go away. But it has been of the past, and that's the only hope that I draw from as I speak from this podium, that more the automation you do, more the jobs are getting created, and I hope it holds true for AI too. Because all these interventions are supposed to bring down costs and create a greater consumption, which will spur employment. And that's the equation that I believe in. But the equation of the past and equation of today has changed. Earlier it was, cost plus profit is equal to price. Today, it is selling price minus cost is equal to profit, where selling price is decided by the customer. That's the change. You have a handheld device called mobile. The range is between 35,000 to 1,75,000. A set of customers are ready to pay 1,75,000, and a set of customers are paying 35,000, probably for the same kind of functionality, 19-20, 10% here and there. So what it enunciates is the choice is with the customer. So therefore, that basic is never going to go away. I lead the board of a cooperative bank, which is 23,000 crores. And earlier, there used to be some amount of soft corner in middle class for cooperative banks. Today, it's no more. Because if you have to compete, you have to compete in the banking sector. And therefore, a relatively small size bank in the overall banking sector, but a big bank in the cooperative sector. Trust me, we had to invest 40 crores in bringing a core banking solution, which we launched on 27th, the best in class core, because if you are late, you bring the latest. So that helped us, but we had to invest 40 crores. Now a cooperative bank to invest 40 crores in core banking solution was unbelievable about 15, 20 years back, or even 10 years back. But the generation sitting in front of me wants to do banking sitting at home. They don't want to go to bank, and they want to do KYC on the video, and therefore we have to respect it. So many of our customers who grew in this city, and it's inappropriate to take names, but you take any big name in Thane and they're grown with the bank. The new generation is saying, Papa, we don't want to bank with a particular bank where the manual processes are still on. So we had mobile banking, we had internet banking, but they said that banks should provide the same kind of efficacy and automation as any private sector bank or nationalized bank would provide. And that's the insight that we got, and therefore we decided to invest. So no, the world is very clinical, especially students. The world is very clinical and cold. Yeah. As you step into the industry, unless you compete, you have to compete only for winning, and winning the gold medal. The silver medalist never gets a mention. The gold medalist is always remembered. So that's what you have to constantly do and pursue. But there is another side also. The first intervention, automation looks like an old word, but I'll still use it, came into the human resources. I spent my career in human resources, 36 years I spent in HR. The first automation came in talent acquisition, what we used to call in our age recruitment. Abhi uska fashion ho gaya, call it talent acquisition. Where CVs, were received based on the data which is entered as to who is the most appropriate, what are the 10 most appropriate candidates, say. Industry did experiment with it. Some of them are still doing it because where there is mass recruitment, you have to do it. But one question always remained. Interviews have to be done on the basis of the competence that the person brings to the table. Simply. That means you bring in certain behaviors which are required for the job, to put in a non-HR guy's language. You should demonstrate certain behavior in the past which is required for my job in current. Now, how to do it on an automation platform? Because if you do personal interview, an experienced HR person can read by looking at facial expressions and body language whether data what the person is giving about his or her past behavior is genuine or not. Now, somebody said you can do virtual interview, but still it doesn't solve the issue fully. Somebody in, like my old school, I would, at least at senior management, I would like to see the person sitting across the table and meeting and discussing with him. So as one of the slides talked about, while AI is the winner, probably HI, that is a human index, will continue to dominate the AI because AI is a creation of human mind. And that's the hope. And therefore the human mind will be conscious of what is to be done and what not to be done. Probably, I asked Dr. Jape that, why do you invite me? I have nothing to do with technology. Spent my career in HR, different industries. But today you cannot say that you can divorce yourself with something happening in the world, be what your domain be. And therefore for the students, you have to quickly graduate from a domain expert and individual contributor to be managing teams, because that's going to be important. Even if AI intervention happens in a mass scale, you will have to lead teams which start or initiate processes in whatever you want to do. And therefore, that ability to deal with people is not going to go away. But AI and the allied adjacencies have to be welcomed. You cannot say I am past that age, because then you are making yourself irrelevant. And the biggest learning has been the cycle time between obsolescence and relevance is becoming too fast. Obsolescence is coming too early than what one expected. Today you don't have to do presentations. You don't have to prepare presentations. You have to speak and slides come out. Yeah, so that's the reality. Though, what is going to ultimately help is experiential learning, even if it is AI. So therefore, when I asked my students in the HR school at TISS, dear students, what do you expect from me? Blunt came the answer, and what this generation is known for. They said, sir, don't teach us from ChatGPT and Google. We have come here to learn from your experience. And therefore, that is becoming extremely important. So students should explore more of learning than teaching. There is a difference between learning and teaching. Learning has a self-stimulus, teaching has external stimulus. So today you will be given only some triggers, and it's left to you as to go and research and find out what is relevant to you, what is relevant for your course, and no more question papers will be syllabus based. It will be more liberal, it will be more expressive, it will be more than what is written yesterday, because yesterday is becoming irrelevant as you get up today morning. That's what I wanted to speak, sir. Thank you, Gurumurthy sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Nitin Joshi, for inviting me here. And it's a pleasure, and wish you all the best. It happens to be the board meeting day of our bank, and therefore I may stay here for a limited time, and that's what I told. It should not look impolite that I leave. And that's the permission I sought from Dr. Jope before accepting this invite. I hope all of you understand that and excuse me for that. Good day and have a learning day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Mukun Shastri, a distinguished data and the AI leader with the 29 years of experience in driving AI-driven digital transformation, currently as the Chief Data Science Officer and the Group VP at Comviva Technologies, Tech Mahindra. He leads AI and ML innovation in telecom, manufacturing, and the smart city. A trailblazer in the large-scale AI solution, Mr. Shastri has received prestigious accolades, including the Great Indian Data Influencer 2023, Leading Light Award 2022, GAISA Award by the Government of India, recognized in the Gartner's Magic Quadrants 2024. His contribution to the predictive analytics and the marketing automation are widely acclaimed. Let's extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Shastri.
First of all, I would like to thank Jappe Madam and seniors here for inviting me for this event. Thank you, sir. And have given me this opportunity to talk about the AI, the applied AI in the industry that we are following currently. So as some of the speakers have talked about data, AI, Gen AI and other key important topics, everything started from data. So I would like to simplify why AI came in and how it came in. Everything started from data, and data is of two types, structured and unstructured. And in the recent years, last 5 to 6 years, the unstructured data, which is from the web, which is from the social, which is from the mobiles, has gone up exponentially. As a result of that, we got the data required for AI. So why AI did not progress quite long for 20 to 30 years? Actually, AI was innovated somewhere in 1956, 1957 in that range. But there were no processors available. There was no large set of data available. The data has evolved after the internet evolution, which has happened in 2000s, and now the social evolution that we are seeing with the evolution of the telecom, which is a bandwidth increase, right? 5G, 4G, 5G, and so on. So with that, the overall data flow has become easier, and hence the evolution of AI is going faster in this decade, as we are seeing. And so is the case of digital transformation, which was originally started in the 2001 range, right? And 2011 range, it got accelerated. Post the COVID in 2020, as we are seeing, the digital transformations have gone up very fast, right? Because of the need of non-contact businesses, right? And day-to-day customer interactions with the businesses. So due to digital transformations, there came the need of decision sciences, right? Why decision sciences are needed? The decision sciences are needed for the business decisioning. The business needs to take decision on what's happening on my business, what happened on my business, and what's going to happen on my business, right? So that is where the decision sciences is a new stream that has evolved last 15 years plus, and which has got the newcomers like generative AI now. There was AI earlier, ML earlier, last 5 to 7 years before, and now we have generative AI as a new stream under decision sciences. Business operations is also going faster. So one of the speakers talked about it's real-time AI. Yes, that's right. For a business operation to work, you need real-time decisioning, real-time intelligence, real-time AI to be available. And that's where it is supporting for the business operations. This is a decision sciences, a larger set of, I will say, branches around it. Analytics and advanced analytics, which is now more of the AI and generative AI part of it. Analytics is nothing but data warehousing and business intelligence we started quite some time before. And on the advanced analytics, which has now come into data lake, data mining, AI, and under AI, artificial intelligence, now there are multiple branches. One of the key which you are now seeing in the market, that is generative AI. Robotics started quite long time before, but now it is intelligent robotics that is getting into shape. Machine learning and deep learning last 5 to 7 years is there in the market, and also intelligence, the intelligent systems. At the same time, NLP and vision are the new branches under artificial intelligence, basically. But for the support of decision sciences, what do we need at the back end is a very compute uh, oriented hardware and structure. And that is which is supported by the cloud systems like AWS or Google, GCP or Azure. That is what it is helping out right now for the faster compute which is required by AI. This is analytics. All of us know these are the graphs and pictures, the dashboards that you need for designing. Those who are management students, for them, this is one of the key way of making decisions when you become a manager, right? So that actually shows what has happened to the business. This is advanced analytics, which shows what will happen. So here it will help you out to predict, okay, next 1 month, what will be forecast of my business, revenue, usage, customer retention, and many more things. So that is something the predictive analytics will help on. And then we have the generative AI, which is actually, as the picture shows, it's AI put into place where human has to interact with the text or language, with the videos, right? So it's interfacing AI where human is interacting with the machines. And there you need the generative AI, which can help you out for textual conversion, audio conversion, video conversion, and all those areas. So that's generative AI, which is actually helpful for the chatbots, the chat GPT, OpenAI, multiple utilities that you are actually seeing. And what are the new branches under AI which are coming up? The one which is at the bottom here, which is generative AI, but at the top, very important one is Edge AI. So as you can see, Edge AI is a AI near edge. Near edge means, let's take an example. You go to a retail shop, supermarket, and he does the scanning, barcode scanning of your particular thing that you are buying. So on the thing that you are buying, if there is a quality problem, it can sense that there and there only and give intelligence information to the sensor there and give certain real-time inputs to the shopkeeper that there is a problem in this entity, you change it with the right one. So that's simple example as Edge AI. It could be applied all across. Wherever we go, the Edge AI is going to now lead and work hand in hand with generative AI. These are upcoming use cases in healthcare sector. As you can see, medical and virtual assistants. In banking, you will have hyper personalization in banking that is currently happening. At the same time, in energy domain, the remote asset inspection. At the same time, you are having the predictive maintenance of the water meters, energy meters. That is something that you will see coming up at the use cases. In the high tech sector also, on the high tech side, and travel and hospitality side, the chatbot is one of the very big thing that you are seeing in the travel portals as well as the travel app that is now coming up. You can ask the questions to the chatbot and it will give your answers about the complete travel planning and itinerary, etc. So that is something which is coming up. Uh, the transportation, retail, manufacturing, education, and agriculture. So in the transportation industry, as you can see, it's a smart transportation that is coming up, where you will have use of AI, cloud, and big data together. And it's more of the real-time AI, where you can make the required alerts to the driver with the help of the overall complete integrated systems. On the retail side, as I already talked about, but there is demand forecasting is one of the use case which is highlighted here. On manufacturing side, there is lot of things. In Indian Railways, when the wagons are made and after some time they are under maintenance, so there is a predictive maintenance that is required for the wheels of the wagons basically. And for that, you can use AI, which is a vision-based AI, which can actually give you kind of faults and defects in the product and give you more preventive maintenance related schedule. So that is where your AI would be used. In education sector, as you must have started using right now, the content-based, the content creation, the online training, and as Sir talked about, many more areas in education, right from studying till presenting. That is something you are currently using AI and going to use AI in that particular area. In agriculture sector, there is lot of use of AI, which is the more of the IoT based AI, which is at the camera level, finding out the different parameters, which is temperature in specific region, the weather humidity in the specific region, and give the required alerts to the farmer, right? What you should do in terms of watering the plants, in terms of the covering the plants, in terms of pesticide quantity that you should give in, and that is where you will be using AI for in the agriculture sector. Sorry. Yeah. The industry focus on AI. If you go as a manager in the industries now as a management student, what they are expecting from you and what is it that their complete focus right now after the inclusion of Gen AI and AI into the market? It's because they want to increase revenue. And how would you increase revenue? Can I have innovative products created with the help of AI, Gen AI, and analytics at a very shorter lead times? That is where they are expecting from the new managers to drive the business to create new products, right? Which can give them higher value in terms of the revenue coming from customer. The greater customer engagement, where how do you increase the user experience for the products and interactions with the customer. That is where the businesses are expecting. How do you make the products more user friendly, right? How it can answer their questions quickly. So that is something the next part of AI, which is nothing but customer engagement, the businesses are expecting. The last part is reduce cost and improve productivity. One of the speakers actually talked about that the expectation of the industry is increased productivity. Is it to replace humans? No. It is actually use of AI will increase the scalability of the business, right? You will have more and more work, more and more products solving the problems which are not yet been solved so far. So you need more people. But for those more people, you would need AI which will ace their life of solving the problem. Right now, our engineers are working in the industry for well over 15 hours a day. To make their work-life balance, I feel AI would help out, in order to do the mundane work for them, the automated work, and these guys, our teams, can focus on more innovative outcomes for the businesses within shorter time. So you would have more work-life balance, and the businesses are going to scale up with the help of this technology. So the cost reduction is of course the aim. So how do you increase the profitability by reducing cost for the businesses? That is going to be a goal of the businesses as we go along. If you can see AI in telecommunication, this is one of the Frost and Sullivan statistics that they talked about. Customer experience management around 45 to 47% use of AI would happen in this particular domain. Similarly, on the security part, there would be use of AI because that's where the overall cloud-based and internet-based security is under threat right now. There you cannot as a human solve those problems real time, and you need an automated system which can actually solve this problem. There AI is getting included. At the same time, generative AI based so many applications which are required for telcos, that is where we see a lot of need of AI. These are a few of the services that you can see on cloud. Uh, there are multiple cloud providers. There is Azure, there is AWS, there is GCP. Each one of them have come up with the services. And as the new age associate, you would need to use these utilities in order to make your business better. From the management students, if you see what you need and what is the expectation of the industry is increase the customer experience with use of technologies available. How do you do that? So once you join and you would get engaged into managing the business at marketing level, at product development level, at engineering level. And in that one theme that comes up, as a management associate, they will expect you, how would you increase your customer experience, user experience, whatever you are delivering, and how would you use the technology in order to do that. Hence, there is a need for you as the students to understand this technology, use it right from now, take trainings around it. Uh, that's the expectation. Effective interactions with technology professionals. As a manager, you would have 10 engineers reporting to you in order, and they are technology guys. They only know skills. Their skill is core Python, Java, or those kind of skills. They may not know business problem, how to solve it. So you need to know you are the interface between the business, the customer, and the technology team. So that management expectation is there. So for that purpose, you need to understand these evolving AI technologies and analytics technologies. How would you manage these whatever associates who are reporting to you? How would you help them out and make their problems simpler for them? Increase productivity of employees, automate processes. So this is basically that is an expectation from you, that how would you automate the processes, and for that you need to know the different technologies which are coming in the market, especially Gen AI and its set of tools, and how would you actually solve the overall software engineering processes. Right now, if you see, there are code developers which are available, there are testing automations which are being done. So with the help of AI, it will actually help you out to automate those parts and increase the productivity of your teams. Understanding on recent AI and analytics tools. So that is actually need of the hour. And as other speakers have talked about, we need to understand those tools and technologies from different landscape. There are hundreds of tools right now available in the AI space, and you would have to use those, start using those, and then because you would be manager of the future, and you would have to actually guide your teams and govern your projects in order to actually make those successful at a shorter time with a higher productivity, low cost, and higher revenue for the customer. Finally, this slide talks about AI is a new electricity. Andrew Ng, who is one of the masters in AI, AI is a new electricity. Just 200 years before, when electricity got innovated, people had a threat that it would take out my jobs because it would do a lot of automation. Same is the condition now. AI has come in, it will take out my jobs. But we have to think through with electricity, which is now in every house, every device, even cars are also now electrified. Everywhere electricity is getting used. Same way will happen with AI. At each and every device, at each and every activities of the individual, you may have AI involved in it, and that's what we all have to be prepared for. Thanks a lot. I had few more slides. I think those did not get copied properly. So those were more on the use case base. What is the time available right now? Over. I had few more slides, but I will check if there is some time available. I'll cover those. That is all. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. We are delighted to welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Binesh Nair, who is an assistant professor at NMIMS, Mumbai, and the program chairperson for the MBA Digital Transformation Program. With over a decade of experience across industry, academia, and research, he has worked with Deloitte Ireland and India, advising banks, insurance firms, SMEs, and government agencies on data-driven insights. A renowned researcher, Professor Binesh collaborates globally on AI, social network analysis, big data, and text mining. His work is widely published in peer-reviewed journals and conferences. He has received multiple accolades, including the Government of Ireland Scholarship and recognition as one of India's top 10 data science academicians by Analytics India magazine. Deloitte has honored him for exceptional client delivery and teamwork, and he has been awarded the Best Mentor Award for his contributions to the Computer Society of India. Please welcome, sir.
Good morning, all. And I would like to thank Dr. Joshi, Dr. Jape, Dr. Dinesh for the invite. And it's exciting to be part of this conference. I'm just going to introduce on this topic, which is basically imagining the future with generative AI. Now, what is interesting about generative AI as a technology is basically that anyone on the street should have an opinion on this. Basically, that's the way it is, irrespective of whether they know this technology or not, right? And you find this in industry, you find in academia, you find everywhere. You hardly will find someone who doesn't have an opinion. Understanding comes later on, but opinion is always there. And if you closely observe, the opinions are basically on two sides. So either you have a very dystopian view of generative AI, wherein it's the one like the one propagated by Elon Musk, for instance, where it's going to be the end of the mankind, right? So so it's going to eat away all our jobs. Humans are no longer required, right? So that's the kind of perspective which a dystopian view is all about. And that's one extreme of it. The other extreme is basically the utopian version, wherein you think that AI as a technology is basically the panacea to all problems, right? So wherever you find a problem in business or in life, you put generative AI and it's going to solve it for you. So you're going to pass exams, maybe use generative AI, maybe that's going to do it for you. So literally outsourcing your decision making, and you think that we don't have to do anything, just sit back and relax, because this tool is going to do everything, because that's the beauty of this technology, is the other extreme of the view. But the interesting fact is that the reality is somewhere in between, right? And for that, actually, I have a balanced perspective, right? And this is a nice thought article which was proposed by Dr. Sabharwal and Dr. Grover in the Journal of the Association of Information Systems, which is one of the leading journals in the information system. This is an article piece, by the way, but it makes a lot of sense to me, because those views, the dystopian and the utopian view, generally they try to overemphasize on technology, right? Either on technology, they think that technology is what is driving. There are no other actors in the whole scheme of things, which is not true. Or else they try to overemphasize on the utility of it, actually, which is also not true completely. So balanced perspective try to bring in multiple actors into this. So one is obviously the technology itself, right? Which would mean that what are the key factors or the attributes that actually define generative AI as a technology? So that's one part of it. So technology is one of the components, definitely. The other component is basically the vendor as an actor, the one who make these technologies. Now, they definitely have more of a supply context, is it not? So what they want to do with this technology, what they want to do to consumers, to the businesses, or to the society at large. And they do have a lot of stake in terms of what they offer and their ability to change the technology. Just to put things in context, one of the technologies which I believe might resonate with most of us, and especially with the Gen Z, is basically social media, right? Now, social media, when it started, the thought behind creating social media was very noble. It was just to connect people, right? That was all it is. But now if you see, with social media, you can also topple governments of the day. It has got that ability. Social media single-handedly is responsible for the most suicides among teenage girls. And this is basically the background behind which Australia has come up with regulation to ban social media for teenagers. If you're aware of that, recent regulation is mainly because of that. So what it means is that and who is being prosecuted for this? Literally no one. Because if you ask the Meta or the TikToks of the day, they say that, so there are two cards that they try to play with. One is freedom of expression, right? And they say that's absolute. Anybody can post anything, right? If you're using an Apple device, especially an iOS, and trying to post it on Meta, Apple will never give the data. Maybe that post created a civic unrest, right? Apple will never give the details of who posted it because they say that privacy comes supreme. You would have seen in their advertisements, left, right, center, right? That's number one. Number two is that you can't actually charge Meta for this, mainly because they will play this card saying that we are only a platform, it's not our content. So it gets into a kind of an issue wherein you don't know where the buck stops. The regulatory agencies is yet to catch up, right? So I think the supply context becomes very important as to what these vendors are planning to do with these tools, right? So they definitely have a clear agenda in terms of what that tool has to do, right? The second part, in fact, the third part is driven by, again, a very critical stakeholder, which is basically the users themselves. This can be businesses or individual users. Now, they actually determine or put in place the demand context. So let's take the example in an academic scheme of things itself. So generative AI as a technology has come, right? So Sam Altman actually came up with this technology. I'm sure he did not list down the use cases. Use cases are being determined by the people and the businesses. Why some of the universities have literally banned generative AI in the, maybe some of the universities in the Middle East, if you see, they have banned generative AI as a tool, mainly because it has got the potential to proliferate plagiarism. Now, that's not a use case which OpenAI came up with. Now, that's something that the students are inventing. But at the same time, there are good students who are basically using it for self-learning. There are stuff that they don't know, and they find that this is a good companion, right? And there have been research to show that it's also a good tool to basically vent out, right? Because you feel that if I'm venting out to a bot, for instance, that bot is going to be non-judgmental. So there is use cases it depends on the user, basically. So what I mean to say, in a balanced perspective, we never take a very siloed approach in terms of the tool is going to determine single-handedly. It never happens. And that has been the history of any information system deployments, because multiple actors come into play and the use cases are going to emerge over time, place, and people. And time, place, and people determine the context. And that's what is going to be the future of generative AI. I don't think anybody can basically stand here and predict what the future will be, because the future is going to evolve with time. And social media, I like to keep going back to that one, because that's a fight which we have lost. Because now it's at a point where it's beyond any kind of serious regulation. Social media, for instance, we lost that battle. Here is an opportunity here. If we get the act right, something can come out, because what might lead to something else at this point of time, it becomes very difficult to predict definitively. So I'd like to say that there are basically three main factors. I say contingency factors, which basically determine which direction generative AI will take. Now, that's all we can possibly aim for. And the important thing to understand, as one of the speakers rightly put here, is that I think the humans still got to be on charge. That's very important. And economic regulatory rationality, which way it's going to go, which way the needle is going to go, right? In terms of the societal impacts, will be determined by each one of us. to begin with the economic considerations. Now understand that each of these considerations, we have a choice. So if you look at that balanced perspective, I want you to visualize that like a knife. Which way it's gonna go, we are gonna decide, right? And we always have a choice at the crossroad here. So in terms of economic consideration, organizations generally have a choice between automation and augmentation. Now, what is interesting is that automation and augmentation, it's an interesting paradox in one way, because more of automation might lead to augmentation and more of augmentation might lead to automation. So that's an interesting paradox that keep happening. A good example, I think, I'll go back to what Sharad sir was mentioning in terms of, and that example might actually help to a larger extent because we have a context wrong. So in terms of, if you look at talent acquisition, for instance, so applicant tracking systems, the ATS systems, what we call, have been an early adopter of some of these, technologies like AI, although it was more rule-based then. In terms of, how do I, so if thousands of applications come my way, how do I actually increase the efficiency? So can we apply some kind of automation there, right? Was a moot idea, and many companies like Amazon were on the forefront in terms of actually adopting this technology, although AI has become more fancy now, but you may know that the first paper in AI was published in 1955, right? So it's not new for the research community largely, but now it's more easy to commoditize for various reasons. So now if you talk about the ATS kind of a system, so one extreme is that you take the entire talent acquisition automated. One extreme. Now what might happen again as that, and Sharad sir rightly put, so there are many mannerisms, and obviously people who have been on the other end of the interview process will know that candidates lie blatantly on CVs. CVs can be created by generative AI. How do you actually distinguish the fact from the fiction? It's extremely difficult actually. So if there is an organization which is going to do automation throughout, I think that's going to be a disaster. So there again, what you may want, but can you really say that we won't use AI? The answer is no. So most of the organizations, so one example I can give you again, and this happened a few years back, where Amazon itself was forced to take off their AI tool, which was used for hiring, because it actually had a lot of gender bias. What it means is typically, if you are a male, the chances of you being picked up by Amazon is more higher than if you are a female, right? And it actually created a lot of public furor, and they had no option but to take it down. So organizations typically have a choice whether they want to automate or augment, which would mean that automation is not, it's not something that we want to say that it's not appropriate, but I think the level to which and to what kind of processes and to what level are you going to automate, I think we have to decide as decision makers, right? Again, going back to the talent acquisition example, I think the screening process can pretty much, the CV screening, because that's where you get the bulk of the data there. Now that job can possibly be effectively done by any automated system, because I think you will have to update appropriate keywords, right? What you require for the jobs, or what kind of skill sets are you looking for? What kind of candidates background are you looking for? Now that initial level of filtering can pretty much be done by an automated bot. But if you're hiring someone to your organization, you're looking for a co-worker, you're looking for a colleague. So one of the key criteria would obviously be that what is the fitment of that candidate to the culture of the organization? I think that's very important. That many times gets revealed only through multiple levels of interviews, multiple levels of human-to-human interaction. You basically cannot take the human out of it. Although there are players, and I think as Sharad sir rightly mentioned, there are players like HireView, which also try to do this process in an automated fashion. But again, the results are not so very appealing. So finding the right balance will be very important. Too much of automation would mean that it is having a negative implications on the society. The second part in economic consideration is also very interesting. Hegemony versus democratization. Now, if you look at generative AI landscape, for instance, there are only two players in the globe right now. You have the United States of America and you have China. The rest of the countries in the globe are mute spectators, right? Which would mean that just throwing money is not going to solve it for you. Now, we may have some statistic on the number of patents India has filed, but one should also look into the utility of those patents, the value of those patents, which I believe is dismally low. So while China and US is investing in billions of dollars in terms of research and development, much of the work is coming from the universities, be it China, be it US. I think many of the other countries are basically lacking behind because we don't have that kind of a university industry collaboration. The challenge right now here is that these countries are, in a way, several decades ahead in terms of technological prowess. Now, China has been working on it for quite some time, right? But they got it now with the DeepSeek. The issue with the hegemony part of it basically is that you are basically letting these select few countries or select few companies to determine everything that you do. And that is going to be detrimental for not just the nation themselves, but even for every individual. For instance, if you have the data that is being stored in a server which is based in China or the US, right? How people are going to use your data, you have no control over it. And that's one of the reasons why DeepSeek currently has been put on hold in Italy, for instance. It has been put on hold by Ireland, by the chief information regulatory body which they have. It's mainly for the data privacy concerns. So what many of these tools actually do in the background, we have no control. And it also, from an organizational perspective, it creates a lot of dependency. Like what's happening with the semiconductor industry, why there is a lot of dependency on some of these countries or some of these specific companies like NVIDIA, for instance, is basically because most of the countries just do not have the ability to produce them at scale. They lack the technological prowess. So you get into a situation wherein, which is detrimental to the global order, wherein people who own these technologies will basically call the shots. They will determine the policies of the day. And they will actually determine who is going to rule, which government will come. You see what Elon Musk is doing, right? It's not because it's the money, but it's basically also the technology that he's developing in the background, which puts companies like Tesla well ahead of its time. So I think if you want to break the hegemony, you should start focusing on democratization, and that requires a collective effort of all nations together. So which would mean that if you talk about India, I think we need more money. If you look at the R&D spending of India on research and development, it's dismally low. It's pathetic, I would say. So with that kind of a spending, I think we will never reach at that point, actually. If you really want to compete, if you want to proclaim that we want to be an AI leader, so if it has to move beyond the lip service, I believe we need to start acting on the ground, which obviously comes through investments on these, and it requires a strong industry academia collaboration to do that. Now, if more and more countries are going to do that, you will get into a situation wherein generative AI will be accessible for all. And you won't have that issue of basically the power to create that technology resting on the hands of the few. So again, which way the needle is going to go depends on what nations do, what organizations do. So DeepSeek in that way seems to be a breather in one way, because at least it now shows that you can create some of these foundational models at scale at an economical cost. which was not the case until that was discovered actually. Now coming to some regulatory considerations. Now this, I believe, is the most serious issue. What technologies like generative AI does is that it tries creating a disparity between the physical reality and the digital reality. So physical reality obviously means the actual reality, right? And the congruence seems to be growing. Like for instance, one of the cons that has come, in fact, out of generative AI. Any technology obviously operates like a double-edged sword. It depends on who is using it, right? So what has generative AI actually facilitated also, while it has got a lot of good use cases, one of the interesting challenges obviously has been that the generation of deep fakes, right? The rate at which now anybody can create a fake story is at an all-time high. And it's next to impossible for many people, especially the vulnerable groups like the teenagers, to determine what is true, what is not true. Most of the unrest that happens, in the societies around the world is because someone is using some kind of a technology like generative AI and trying to, put up some content on social media which is far from the truth. And it has happened multiple times in India itself, right? And recently also, which in fact has created a lot of civic unrest. And that's troubling in a way because there is no congruence. It has nothing to do with the reality. It's made up, it's fake stories. Now, this is a very deadly combination in a way. You have so initially people created stories, yes, they do, but there was a limit to what they can do. But with generative AI, people are actually making copyright violations at scale. The number of artists that actually has filed cases against OpenAI, I think these guys are basically fighting a battle in every court in every country. So this has become rampant and it's unchecked. So you have a scenario wherein your physical reality will be very different than the digital reality. There has to be some appropriate regulatory frameworks in place to ensure that the congruence is basically kept to the minimum. So I believe the government of India is also trying to do by making use of some, by I think mandating many of these content creators to actually have a AI signature on top of any image or video, which is basically created by AI, so that it makes it very clear to anybody viewing those kind of content to know whether it is real or unreal. So that's again some of those things, but I'll just end by this one point on this topic actually, is that while it is feasible to a larger extent technologically for a multimedia content, but it becomes extremely difficult for text. So if you take any piece of text in today's time, it's next to impossible to know whether it is real or AI generated. So anybody who is into ethnography, for instance, trying to understand the reviews, right? There's a lot of papers being published on, understanding the reviews, what people write on TripAdvisor or any of those social media platforms. I think it's very difficult because you may never know that many of these posts would have been created by bots and not real users. The second part in the regulatory, factor is basically a choice between sustainable and unsustainable solutions. Now, while people go all out in terms of the potential of AI as a technology, but we also must understand that it is coming at a huge environmental cost. The amount of water, fresh water, that is required to actually keep powering many of these systems goes into thousands of liters of fresh water. This is on a daily basis. And this is when you have a good number of population around the world which is basically having no access to clean water. But these AI companies don't have a choice, because in order to cool these highly powered data centers, you need fresh water. Salt water won't do, seawater won't do. It needs fresh water. So water consumption is terrific for this kind of a technology. The CO2 emissions coming from these kind of systems actually is far more than any of the other sources that we know so far. And these are the same people who actually come and talk about climate change, while their own products are basically the biggest abuser of climate change. But there is always a choice. How do you going to develop these technologies? It's too nascent at this point of time, but I believe there is a choice. I think India takes a stand in terms of saying that we are all for fair, ethical, and sustainable use of AI. I think which also mean that can we now create some of these technologies using renewable sources of energy, for instance. So it's not just about developing a solution for the sake of it and ensuring that you are filling your coffers, but it is also about, are you doing it responsibly right from development itself? Now that I believe the managers of today, which many of you should have to take cognizance of it and be responsible when you get into product development. So it's not just about a solution which gives you the maximum profit in terms of cutting down the cost and increasing efficiency, but also what's your contribution to the environment? So is it negatively harming or is it actually aiding the environment? I think that's an important question. The last part is basically rationality consideration. Within that, it's again a question between individual rationality and collective rationality. You see, most of these AI tools, if you see, they actually have integrated a woke culture within these tools, because the training data is actually coming from certain part of the world, and it is coming from certain kind of a belief systems. So the responses that you might get for some of the prompts is how certain kind of people think on certain topics. It need not be the way you think. It need not be the way your people in your culture thinks. And with these kind of tools like generative AI, we are trying to generalize everything. And that comes at the cost of individual rationality, because what makes you unique, each one of us unique, is our ability to think and think uniquely. And if that goes out of the window, then your own existence becomes a challenge. So what many of these tools actually propagate is collective rationality, which mean that, it's basically just generalized a kind of a understanding, which need not work in many instances. You want that individual touch in any organization at any level, actually. To be more specific, again, more to do with the organizational context, I think it's a choice between using generic models and specialized models. And I'm sure most of you would have heard of what is called as small language models. We know large language models, which actually is powering the chat GPTs or the Gemini of the days, which are large language models. But there are also small language models, which many companies, including in India, many companies have successfully deployed many of these models. Now, these are models which is specific to that context. And they're building on top of these foundational models. Like, for instance, an HDFC might use a small language model, and in fact, they have used it to basically create a bot which actually can talk to the customers of their insurance products. Now, in order to be effective, it need not know everything in the world. It just needs to be good in the insurance domain. So you basically fine-tune it based on the requirement of your domain, and not actually rely on the entire thing which is available on the large language model. So you're basically customizing it to your context. So HDFC Life might do it for insurance. Maybe if we want, so Binesh College want to create a bot, it will basically, fine-tune it based on all the relevant documents that the institute find it's relevant, and then build on top of any LLM, so that the bot is largely in control and it is also contextual in nature. So again, the choice remains on organization whether to go for a generic model or a specialized model. Definitely, specialized model will be more relevant, right? So these are the three things that I just wanted to highlight. The conclusion largely being that the mantle or the lever still lies firmly in the hand of the decision maker. You just cannot outsource your decision making. I think it's time that we take charge of this technology and not outsource the intelligence to the artificial intelligence systems. Yeah. With that, yeah, I'd like to conclude. Thanks a lot for the patient hearing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are excited to proceed ahead with the next session of our conference, that is the panel discussion of this theme. Now I'd like to welcome our Assistant Professor, Mr. Prathamesh Tavde, sir, who has more than a decade-long experience in finance, will be the moderator for today's panel discussion. Now I'd like to welcome our esteemed panel members on the dais. Our first panel member is Mr. Suresh Shan, a doctorate in the computer science and the experience in the IT architecture and the digital transformation. He has mentored and guided and contributed to over panels in last 25 years. He has conducted around 1,620 academics leader program and team building program across India. Welcome, sir. Please have a seat on dais. Our next panel member is Dr. Monica Apte, who is the distinguished academician, researcher, and the industry expert with over 24 years of experience. She currently serves as the director and the associate professor at the MIT World Peace University, Pune, specializing in the artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the data science and the cybersecurity. With the numerous research papers published in the Scopus and the Index Journal, she has made the significant contribution to the AI, blockchain, and the cybersecurity. She has authored the book-guided PhD scholar and led major government-funded research projects on the AI and the cybercrime. Dr. Apte holds the multiple patents in the AI and the blockchain application and has been recognized as the top teaching professional on the LinkedIn. She actively contributes to the academia through the curriculum development and the industry training. Beyond academia, she serves as the president of the Rotary Club of Pune, demonstrating her commitment to the social impact. Her expertise and dedication continue to shape the future of the education and the technology. Welcome, ma'am. Please have a seat.
Moving forward to our third panel member, it is a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Honorable Nair, who is an award-winning technology leader, innovator, entrepreneur dedicated to driving SMEs and startups towards success. As the founder of #Tech Ventures, he specializes in growth strategies and digital transformation. A certified AI expert for business from Wharton, Dr. Nair has been recognized as the best digital advisor, receiving honors from Shri Suresh Prabhu and Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis for his contributions to the startup ecosystem. His expertise is widely sought after with media features, keynote speeches, and panel engagements at prestigious institutions like IIM, IIT, and NMIMS. With a deep passion for emerging businesses, Dr. Nair continues to inspire and shape the future of digital entrepreneurship. Welcome, sir. We are delighted to welcome our next panel member, Yash Sangvi, who is the host of the Last Laugh podcast, a platform dedicated to showcasing businesses that have overcome challenges through innovation. He is also the founder of Yanisa Execution, which specializes in AI automation, courses, and products, aiming to be India's first AI-driven acceleration program. With 8 years of experience in the edtech industry, Yanisa focuses on cultivating collaboration and driving investments in AI. Additionally, Yash is the founder and CEO of Career Incubator, a virtual assistant helping students make informed career decisions, gain experience, improve skills, and secure jobs. Welcome, sir. Before the panel discussion start, I will request Smita Japan ma'am to felicitate our panel members, Mr. Suresh Shaw. Monica ma'am. Nayan sir. Prathamesh sir. Yes sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. I think we are already out at 12, so good afternoon. So let's to set the tone. I think welcome to the what promises to be one of the electrifying and the thought-provoking, let's say, discussion on one of the transformating driver, or not only of your time, it's my time, everyone's time, and yes, I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence. From Eliza, the first chatbot that amazed us with its simplicity, to Alexa and the Siri, who are our daily companion, AI has come a long way. It's really a long way which is there. Whether you are here as a student, whether you are here as an educator, whether you are here as a businessman, you're simply driven by AI, and that is what the reality is all about. And AI is not just augmenting, but it is disrupting the way we think, the way we grow, and the way we create the things. Imagine a world where in a classrooms, each and every individual, each and every learner, they can have their personalized learning. Imagine a scenario and imagine a world where the business can predict the marketing trends before they emerge. And imagine a world where creativity and your efficiency, they are not at a loggerhead, but instead of it, they are partnering together. It may seem to be Alice in a Wonderland, but it's not. It's a present, and we are living in that particular era of AI. So welcome to the world of AI. So today I have with me all the exceptional panel visionaries, disruptors, the innovators, the tech people, the educators, who are not just navigating this AI revolution, but who are actually actively shaping it. So they will be sharing their insights, challenges, and their predictions on how AI is redefining the rule of game, not only for the business, but since we are here for the students as well, how AI is redefining the education as well. But I think before we deep dive into, take a moment to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I think rather than calling elephant in the room, the algorithm in the room, AI. Let's acknowledge AI. AI is not just a tool, but it's a paradigm shift. It's not doing the things better, not just doing the things better, but it is reimagining what's possible. And that is what we are today to discuss about. So to kickstart it, since we are in a B school, I think my first question will go to the investors. So first question, you as an investor, when you are investing into any of these startups, AI-driven business models which are there, then which kind of the AI-driven business models you are betting on, and how you try to separate that hype AI from that of the AIs which are more creating a sustainable impact?
What kind of startups I'm betting on currently?
AI-driven business models.
Of the topic being AI. So okay, currently amongst the portfolio, almost I think 80% of the startups have started using AI, adopting AI in some form. 20% perhaps are still trying to find out how they can leverage AI. But 80% of the startups which I'm invested in have got in some form, so there have been startups via AI first startups, started itself the journey with AI. There are startups which have been started adopting. So for example, there's one startup which is using AI they're into natural personal care products. So skin care, hair care, personal hygiene, those kind of products. And it's an AI first company. They are right now only they are building a model. In fact, we are launching soon. The AI bot will take your picture live on a camera on your laptop or your mobile, analyze your skin, and give you a complete report about the skin. So what kind of skin? It's a dry or it's an oily, or what is your pore size, and what is the age of your skin compared to your age? If there are any marks, dark circles or whatever, I don't know what pigmentation or whatever it's called. Okay. And then accordingly, this company is going to recommend the right product based on the person's skin profile. I think that's one good example of AI. Then we have another company, startup, which is using AI for assessment, your digital exams, and they are also doing skill tests. So now today you require 21st century skill sets like problem solving and analytical skills and critical thinking and emotional intelligence. So they are using AI to assess the students and give them a score, which will help them to get better placements, because then the companies will be able to understand. So generally, this is a startup which believes that a student is not just a report card. They are more than a report card. Report card gives me only academic, but the other skill sets which are required in turn, so that they are using AI to use that. So I think most of these people, almost all the startups, 80% of the startups from my portfolio are started using AI in some form. As far as my bet is concerned, I think I would bet high on health. AI has got tremendous use. In fact, I got some health tech companies also, and the way they are using AI is really transformative. I mean, that's where I really feel that यहाँ पे AI का काम है. They are actually helping to diagnose the disease, the illness in the patients. They're able to take a very early call. So patients can then start preventing or take preventive measures. That's where I think health at least for me, I feel the impact is very high on the health area. There was a second part of the question.
Yeah, about how you separate the hyped AI startups from that which are creating a sustainable impact against that of.
Okay, I mean, if I understood the question correctly, so I'll tell you what, I think there is a lot of hype around generative AI, okay. But AI is beyond that, and I, to quite an extent, I agree with Professor Mr. Nair, right? Sorry. So what is required is every organization to now start adopting and developing the AI models based on the data they have. And that hype of using GPTs and, that's where I think we shouldn't be moving around. Today, AI, moment you talk about AI, people are talking about chat GPTs and DeepSeek and all things. But I would like, for example, my bank, you give example of HDFC, I'm sorry, I don't like the HDFC AI bot they have. It's still menu. Press 1 for accounts, press 2 for credit card, press 3 for FDs, press 4 for insurance, press 4 for loans. It's still menu driven, it's not AI. I think the hype is, any automation is now called AI, but they are not AI. And I'm disappointed with, the way these companies are using AI, so I would love if I'm able to put a statement to that bot and say, hey, give me a statement from 13th of June to 18th of, don't tell me 1st of Kerala. मेरे को ये दिन के बीच में statement चाहिए. Or can you analyze my spend and say, give me a report on how much I spent on health, how much I spent on entertainment, how much I spent on food. तो analyze करके मेरे को दे from my spending from my bank account. Now that's where I should be able to talk in a normal Hindi, English, Marathi, whatever language, and AI should be able to understand, convert it into, translate into a water code it has to, and pick up the data from my records and say, okay, here is your, what you want. I think that's where the Gen AI has to actually be clubbed with the data of the companies which are having the data. I think that's what
I think, sir, the point which you have made, some of our students, when they will be doing their internship in HDFC, I think that is a feedback which they can give.
I want them, and I would be wanting to support them. I am ready to go and fight with the HDFC Bank if you want. In fact, I already done it.
Yeah. Okay, Yash, you as an investor as well, you have been investing into a lot of startups, and many of the startups, they are AI driven. So how you look at this particular scenario, or what kind of the models do you also trying to bet it on? I do understand that two investors are there, they would not like to share that particular business secrets, but still.
No, nothing like that. So first of all, I would. Hello, it's audible, right? Yeah. So first of all, I would like to segregate into different business model, because AI is, as he rightly said, right? AI is not just ChatGPT. AI is a bigger ecosystem. So everything starts with data, right? AI starts with data. So the first business model which comes in 2025 is data as a service. So everybody knows as software as a service, but data as a service is one of the business models which has recently picked up. Second, AI as a service. So we as a company, I mean, I have invested so many, in so many startups who are actually building AI tools for other companies. So that's another second type of business model. Third is basically something where you are layering an application on the service which you're giving, right? So that's basically web apps. So that is, again, when I spoke last time also, we spoke about no code and coding. So no code is also something which is coming in the industry. So without coding, how can you build apps? So that is third type of business model which has come in. Fourth type of business model in AI ecosystem would be somewhere down the line as a consultancy model, where you take the projects, you take the requirements of the clientels. As HDFC he mentioned, HDFC does not know how to build a chatbot, what he clearly said. And maybe some companies who are very good with building chatbots and internal processes of HDFC to automate that company is also coming in existence. So there are different types of AI business model which have come in. Now coming to another type of business model, which is giving your APIs. Now once you build, so let me talk about first what I spoke about is build. Now is something when you have already built, how do you leverage that, right? So you give your APIs to other companies. That is something is as also a business model. So there's an amazing company known as Scale AI. I don't know why people are underestimating that company, because I would say that it's next to DeepSeek and ChatGPT. Scale AI is going to be a big monster in the room, as you said, elephant in the room, right? So that's a business model which is there in the ecosystem. Now coming to the ecosystem which I come from, where we invest, specifically what we have seen, we have to segregate this into, again, countries, right? So in India, there is something known as wrapping system. Everybody who is building right now is building on wrapping system. They're just taking APIs from other companies, putting it in a business use application, and they're launching it as a app, right? But eventually that will fail because DeepSeek or ChatGPT will come again and disrupt it, right? So ChatGPT released, I think 3.5 ke baad, they released plugins, right? Plugins 4.0, and then this all got disrupted, plugins and everything, into one model. So I believe specifically that tomorrow the biggest thing which comes is whoever can train data, whoever can clean data will win the race, right? So this is where the focus is right now in India, and specifically that if you're able to clean the data, we would love to invest in that. So that's one insight. Second, if you are able to build AI models, we would like to invest in that. So AI agentic world. So 2025 is about AI agentic world, right? So AI agents is something which is going to be on the 2025 end goal, right? So you will see so many AI agents coming in, and this AI agents will disrupt each and every industry. I mean, not only the banking, education, I mean, finance, travel, everything will be AI agentic. So that is something which I would say that these are the three major areas where investors are looking at, that hey, if you know how to build and if you know how to deploy, you're not outsourcing to somebody else, you're building yourself, then only investors are putting their money in.
Okay, so let's move from a startup ecosystem to the corporates now. So from your experience at BITS, Mahindra and Mahindra Finance Limited, according to you, what are the biggest barriers to the AI adoption in a large organizations like that of MMFL, but apart from other companies as well, and how you can, as a leader, drive that particular cultural changes, because any changes which are there, that will always have an inertia. So how you corporate guys, you try to overcome that particular challenge?
Good afternoon, distinguished dignitaries from the dais and the researchers both from academia and industry. I do represent part of government also in terms of taking from CSA and AICT on that. But anyway, the artificial intelligence so far we heard is on the consumer side. Like no, let us listen from the common man side what reality is. In India, e-business is less to do with electronics, more to do with emotions, which are all the technology which caters to more emotions they win, and that to the reality basis on that. 78% of the people are from remote and rural locations. Still, they didn't opt English. They do use multilingual more. 28%, whatever you call it, is only urban crowd. We talk about only this 28% with all the jargons. Again, if we see from post-COVID, it's a large impact for the corporates, where digital transformation was supporting only the stakeholders of the corporate digital, which has moved from corporate digital towards customer digital. Every individual customer is treated as corporate. That's what the reality booms and everybody started fearing. Even the corporates has backed up to find out how to identify a customer to get engaged with them for a long term and try to do it. And artificial intelligence, I'll put it as a layman's definition to say, I don't know how many people know difference between Google Maps and Google Earth. Anybody can narrate, since you are all researchers? What is Google Maps? What is Google Earth? Don't worry, this won't hit your research on it. Okay, in the interest of time, Google Maps created by us, used by us, it is for us. It's a dump of information, not necessarily right or authentic. We call cooked information. I can go and put this college in Worli, still it will pick up. Next time you type this college, Worli also will come. Google Earth is sponsored and it's given by Google, it's paid. Right? So if I put somebody else, they have to verify physically whether this college is existing. Even they get the confirmation and they continuously get some confirmation. So you should have like researchers, we do find out easily, ChatGPT, whether used or for a project, we run a tool, it finds within the string if the same name is repeated. That's from ChatGPT. I reject your research, I reject your project. Okay, we do it in seconds. 150 projects I put in the system. Within 10 minutes, it says all the 150, almost 149 is ChatGPT. Only one project is original. Okay, so that much it's on the other side to find out how technology is used, part of it. From corporate, if you see artificial intelligence, I'll narrate with an example where how corporates we see part of it. So when you want to give mobile phones, especially when we want to operate from rural India, from the big monsters, I don't want to name them, 4 people have given a tool to say almost all the people in India from almost 18 years to 28 years use mobile phones. They use more from technology. Please give them free phones to them. So still my CFO doesn't want to go by that logic of just artificial intelligence. He said, can we use human intelligence to find out, to drill down how still this can be signified. So we have been put as a research, again we have been sent to the rural India. We found 0 to 25 people use mobile phones, high technology. They don't use phones for financial transaction. They use for gaming, entertainment, and do time pass part of what it is. So exactly in the interest of time, again, 32 years to 48 years, people in India use mobile phones for financial transaction. Again, drill down, women use more mobile phones for financial transaction, men less use mobile phones for financial. So artificial intelligence will say something. In India, again, that's what I said. So Google Maps such as Google Earth, until you didn't get to that world we do it. We found out of 8 million customers, only 2.5 lakh people are filtering to that. They all got the phones. Otherwise, we would have wasted in putting more than 25 lakh people as mobile phones, and the cost also would have gone, and nobody is there to take it up. So everything has an impact. Everything has something to do with intelligence. Again, you have to be very clear. That's why the terminologies, if you get into multilingual, you can understand more. I don't know how many people practice on the local language. Intelligence is to be compared with smartness. Nothing called an authorized or authentic information. It's a smartness. Okay, smartness not necessarily to be right or wrong. And smartness is not justified with an information. So you have to have something called authentic information. The information has to be verified by the regulators. Wherever the regulators consistently verify, those are the informations play a role in the getting that intelligence part of it. Again, you can narrate a lot more from rural India, which you do it, because they don't live in the real world. They live in the real world. So if you want authentic data, and good safe side for India is what we haven't proven artificial intelligence like Mahabharata and Ramayana, which was given to us years ago. So if you want to match the characters and try to pull out also, we have enough data compared to other countries, we should give data back to them. And one more seriousness which we have to see, since I'm from the finance which is parting on the rural, digital transformation should be from the rural India to digital. It's not from urban to tell them. Sometimes people do say farmers want to use water, soil, they can do better than us. You don't teach them what they're supposed to do. We have to capture that data and take it to other side. You call it western side, you can sell it. Still, we make money because we have proven, we have ethics part of that to do more on that. So an intelligence should try to capture that information of our reality. We should emphasize from the education to find out which are best things part of our area should be transformed to Gmail or Google, whichever you call it. That data will give over a period of time to take it out. Otherwise, today it's more of a cooked information that will give only the likes and interest. You can see Facebook, whatever from India is showing only the positives. We don't have negatives. To have an authentic artificial intelligence, it should have 360 impact of a same positive and negative. That will give reality about that subject. That will give more clarity for research and taking others on that. Otherwise, we will think people all like in India blue shirts, but unfortunate nothing like that. It's only the time which you do it. Even everything has more impact to do that. Same way you would have seen the banks also creating the colors, where how to promote. Every colors has a significance for a specific festival, not even for us. So that's where we are all Indians. We use everything, we are into everything, and we judge things, and every individual is an intelligence, where India is having a strength where every individual can speak a lot, every individual can think a lot, every individual can deliver it. Until those things are not captured part of the digital, it's not going to be easy. Just by saying a technology is going to do it, it's not that, which we can see. We have more than 1 lakh crore customers, where every individual we have customized a scheme which was deployed part of the system. We don't have a common scheme used across. So that's a thought process. That's what we do. We can see more on that. And again, data is, we already have it enough on that to do
Yeah, I
that.
think, sir, you have given let's say, a preface for our next conference theme by integrating that particular
I have gone
Ramayana
through
and
that,
Mahabharata.
yeah.
That, I think that is what we will definitely take a note of it. Now, I will come to the educator, the pinpoint which we have. How we can try to balance, madam, that particular AI efficiency gains with the ethical concerns like that of job displacement, and how we can prepare the students for the same.
Yeah. See, AI can be a resistance. I want to address this for all students. Now you are all management students and you are into different stream like marketing, HR and finance, etc. So students, now you next year or this year you will be facing the placements. See, India is among the top 5 economic countries of the world, and India is one of the youngest country of the world. So all the world is seeing to India that we are going to provide the intelligent human resource. Now it's intelligent also and it's human also. There is no question of AI. AI comes into the picture when you are employed and you have skills to run that AI. So it is actually the core. Suppose you are from finance background, so it's the core knowledge of the finance that will take into consideration and how you will be employing the technology into your core area. So AI cannot take your jobs. You can take the AI as your assistance and you are the one who will be commanding to the machine. AI is altogether is a machine. So you are commanding the machine to do your job or to assist you in the job, to make the job or to make your work come to be extraordinary or to come to the goal. So it's all up to you how you develop your skills. See, the machine cannot overtake humans unless and until the human wants. So it's up to you that how much skills you gain apart from your core area. So it is nowadays you study fintech. So it is a combination of finance and technology. It is not that only the technology has taken up. It is not that AI is completely into finance. It is a combination of both. And the combination of both is done only by the humans. It is not AI that will take human plus technology. It is human beings who will be doing both the work. So you develop your skills, and yes, as Murthy sir said, that there is a 75% of the job market which is requiring AI technical skills. And not over in India, but across the world, there are very scarcity of the skilled manpower. So you people, if you develop it, you will get the job anywhere. There is no scarcity of the job. I am also into the placements in my university, and I have seen that there are companies which is coming for the placements. They want freshers. They want freshers, but they are looking only that the freshers who have the basic knowledge of their core area. If you are not having very much advanced skill, no problem. They are expecting only the very core basics and plus somewhat technology. And nowadays, technology is not a very big bust. Even your YouTube, which is in your mobile, if you just take the YouTube, there are ample of YouTubers who have given the technology in very simple. You can learn it at your fingertips. You don't have to go anywhere. You can sit in your classroom or in your library and you can learn the technology. Technology means not very hi-fi technology, the basics that you require for your finance, the very basics for marketing analytics, which is very much there. And the languages, the technology that came today are most simplest. The most simplest one, the languages like Python, which is maximum used for AI, is simply like a English language, and anyone without a computer background can easily can master that language. What the companies are expecting, they are not expecting very high. They simply expect the minimum from the student. If you are able to deliver, the company takes the responsibility to increase or to mold you into their environment. So the
Just to
job.
add to that particular point, when you're saying about that these things which are there, these things are workable, then in that case, as an institution, how we try to, let's say, integrate it into a curriculum, and especially when the institutions, they are affiliated. For the autonomous, it's easy, but for the affiliated institutions, how that particular, let's say, the integration can happen with, and we can make the students ready for the AI-driven economy.
Yeah, so see, since if it is an AICT or if it is not an autonomous, yeah, government is also supporting. So we can have certification program in the whole course. Suppose it's a finance course, we can have 2 units of AI or 2 units of technology. Also, we can have seminars, and we can go for certain workshops which are training the students in terms of technology. So the technology is not very tough. Neither the technology is something that you need very core of computers. And those students who are sitting now, I guarantee that they have started learning computers from their schools itself. Nowadays, the board exams are having computer as a board subject. So integrating technology with the core is not a big task. And yes, you are the human beings, which is the most intelligent species on earth. So you are not the slave of the technology. Just remember that you should you should master the technology, and you will be telling the technology what you want to be, what the technology should do your work. And if in case you think that you know very much about the current market, just come up with the new solutions. So solutions can be in terms of technology, so solutions can be in terms of your core knowledge area. It is not always that technology will be giving you solutions. Your human brain will give you the solutions. The only thing is that you have to study for it. You have to go to the library, you have to search the books, you have to go through the research paper, latest research papers. Everything is in your hand. Just make your 80 billion brain neurons to work for you. Okay.
80 billions, it's a big number.
Yeah,
I think I will turn the, yeah, sir. Yes, please, sir.
Adding to a point, generally, I'm part of AICT also, so I would want to emphasize since education, how they can take it up. It's a small thing, you people have to trim it out as what, when your faculties comes and present, this is what my 76 hours of lecture is going to be for the full year. Bring that guy who is taking placement also, let him sit next to you, let him watch from that. Let him say what is that industry visit. Let him say, suppose from Mahindra's, we have something called like SAP was from software, hardware they have HP. Then beyond that they revolve on. That should be put forth there. Otherwise, what happens, like when you bring it in the last minute, we tell no, we have a separate one, your domain is different, our domain is different. So we should ask, which are all the placement areas you are doing, call those, don't call the local HR person, call the senior most person in terms of business, let him sit there, let him go through that and say like, this is what industry visit mean. Like I've seen in some of the topics, you use routers which is showing 3.2 version, where the market is using 7.5. When your students put 3.2, I will straight away reject. I won't even go through that CV, right? So bring that and try to bring out even industry visits. That again, I don't know. I'm finding it, I'm putting it transparently, I'm not blaming anyone. You people go to a lowermost portion of that same organization, they come and say ambience is good, food is good. Nowhere it is talked about for what purpose they have visited, for what that tools has been put. So let us organize some incubation centers or some labs part of a college. Let the students come there, the corporate come there, let the technology expertise also come there, all discuss, issue a certificate to the student. The router of this version to this version was explained to him, he knows about it. Then you see the student, he won't get attracted glamour by the industry. Otherwise he says like, when I go to industry 7.2, you are using 3.5 and academics is forced to do that. So bring out an alignment from industry, government and academia from beginning when the syllabus is put. Even the faculties will be very happy because they are now begging for the industry visit. Now that will be ruled and it's made mandatory. The person do it. You can go one step ahead to say even that CSR, corporates are doing CSR of plantation. Let them plant for the faculties whomsoever they are going to give best students for them. Let them sponsor for the upgrades. We found that more than 80% of the faculties in Mumbai are not confirmed. They are not professors. They are associate professors. Let them get confirmed by the sponsorship from the corporates. It's again both sides. No, how you can just blame one system and say industry is hired, students also hired, only faculty is down. It can't be. This itself is a cooked information where you want to promote industry, you want to promote the students. Students also hired of technology. Nothing. You go to students, everybody talks about youngsters. I still believe youngsters, when I put them beyond certain point, they couldn't even take it up. Beyond certain point, criticality, they couldn't take it up. That's how students we are building. By exaggerating youngsters, next generation, blah, blah, everything, but put them for a critical job. I thought now seen data centers downtime takes more than 3 days because of the students couldn't react to this crisis. Good olden days, they are able to fix it within 2 hours. Where we have gone, where their natural talent has gone. We are over exaggerating by owning to a mission and humans are sitting idle. He says, sir, mission my problem is getting escalated. This is the way we are working. What he is suggesting, give another hardware so that it works on time. I will take some 3 weeks to come back. That's not downtime. Same infrastructure should be used. You see that alternate infrastructure is paid double. Getting a what?
Yes.
I will give a recent incident, and UPS bought us production, UPS brought us secondary. Production was used 3 years, effectively no downtime. Secondary was not used 3 years without anything else. This WDV is 0, this WDV is 0. Now tell me, like, who is responsible for this? Right? So use intelligence and smartness to find out, to use the assets infrastructure effectively, and same academia also has to come out because both are having huge muscle power. Both industries also having, academics also having. We have to fine tune it, bring it out in the between. That's why government is trying to bring out multiple schemes. Now AICT is coming out with the ATALs, where bringing it out like how to give promotions to faculties and all. Bring that, but bring industry also with that. Let the industry also know like what exactly they want and get that water gaps bridged out. Now that gives you more confidence in terms.
That is where I will pull in these particular 2 guys out here. So next question to both of you. So when you are working as investors and all, and when there may be a lot of pitches which may be coming to you from the founders. That time, any kind of the advice or any kind of the suggestion which you need to give it to the academia so that they can be a better aligned with the industry need, and that is what he was also pointing it out. So how you can take it on that?
To academia.
Yeah.
Okay, Taude sir, it's okay. Yeah, I'll be very ruthlessly honest, and you know, people who know me, that I don't mince my words. Tavade sir, you are associated with this college.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, no comment on this college, but then I've been going to a lot of colleges giving lectures. How much AI you have adopted? क्या किया है तुमने तुम्हारे कॉलेज में क्या कि हमने ये AI अडॉप्ट किया है?
I think, sir, at the end of the, let's say all the question and answer, I will tell you that particular secret.
So आपको अभी बोलना नहीं है. So कहने का था तो अरे भाई जब तुम बच्चे को AI तुम your earlier question and the debate that we are having, अरे पहले तुम अडॉप्ट करो ना तो बच्चे खुद सिखा रहे ये AI आ गया. तुमको AI बच्चों को सिखाना है, तुम नहीं अडॉप्ट कर रहे हो. And sorry, I'm not commenting on this college. Please don't take me wrong. नहीं तो मेरे को बाहर जाके पीटने वाले इन लोग. What I'm saying is, academia has to start. The charity begins at home. पहले तुम अडॉप्ट तो करो in small way. जब भी कोई भी कॉलेज में जाओ, generally, sir, budget का problem है. Sorry, again, please don't take me. I'm not commenting on this college. I'm talking in general because I've been going to a lot of colleges and ये common problem. Budget का problem है. 2 लाख रुपया नहीं खर्चना एक AI का सिस्टम को कि चलो इससे हम शुरू करते. Honestly, जब बच्चा इंटरेक्ट ही नहीं कर रहा है AI के साथ, वो एप्लीकेशन नहीं देख रहा है और तुम बच्चों को बोले तुम AI के लिए तैयारी करो, तो तुम क्यों नहीं करो भाई? जो सिखा रहे हो पहले तुम करो ना. So I think the only way, if academia has to match the pace with industry and industry को अगर अट्रैक्ट करना है, बच्चों को तैयार करना है, तो पहले तुम adoption सीखो. That's what only I want to say. I think I have answered a question, both the earlier and this one also.
Yes, yes, yeah.
I would just like to add, because it is related to academia. I agree with sir. Means I just don't know that whether we have integrated technology here or not, but in my university we are having all the management courses integrated to the latest technology, and whatever the industries are requiring, that is there in their curriculum. Okay, so one solution can be that since we are academicians, we have to go with the research papers and all, and research papers nowadays are all integrated with AI tools. So whatever we are doing the research, we just explain them to the students that you can also be the part of it. They take the students in your research papers so that the student comes to know that what is happening in latest in the market, and the student can start preparing for it. And yes, being a professor, we can guide that what is correct in AI and what is wrong in AI. Okay, we can guide the student to tell that, okay, this can be your assistant, make this tool. We are having so much in market, so why can't we can own produce it? Why we are going for the chat GPT of OpenAI? Why can't we have our own chat GPT? So let it be that V and B chat GPT. We can have it. It's not so difficult. We are putting the data for the chat GPT. We can put the student data in V and B chat GPT. So it's all about how you take the initiative. It is not system dependent. It is your own dependent.
Ma'am, I was talking about not for professors, for the students. They have to have something where they start experiencing the power of AI. In fact, अगर sorry, no comment again. मगर मैं अगर marketing का अगर faculty होता, तो मैं बच्चों को बोलता एक काम करो, write an essay on 4 pieces of marketing. Chat GPT लिख के आओ, जिसका अच्छा Chat GPT का output होगा, I'll give you a better, उसको ज़्यादा, क्योंकि उसको कल को वही कर रहा है. तो भाई prompt देना सीख बराबर से, ताकि तेरा ऐसे अच्छा है. यहाँ पे हम उल्टा सिखा रहे, नहीं खुद के ओरिजिनल में लिखो. मुझे नहीं लिखना है, कल को नहीं जरूरत है मुझे तुम्हारा. चैट जीपीटी करने वाला है, उसको सुधार के तुम चैट जीपीटी से आउटपुट लाओ, उसको सुधार के दे दो, हो गया काम. आई वांट द स्टूडेंट टू टेल देम कि भाई तुम एक काम करो, मुझे एक पोस्टर बना के दो जो जनरेटिव एआई से आता हो. आई मीन बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट द कंपनीज आर गोइंग टू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम देम टुमारो.
I think the time has come for
Yeah,
us
please,
as well
I mean,
to change our policies as well.
Please do that, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
We are shunning. In fact, हम उल्टा कर, sorry to say, but हम उल्टा करें. नहीं भाई ओरिजिनल लिख के आओ. मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. I mean, please do that. We got to change that mindset here first. Okay. Again, no comment on anybody. Please don't take me wrong.
I think Yash, you will be able to connect it in a better way because you are connected with the youth as well. So how you look at it? What kind of the skill set the students need to be there when it comes to that AI-driven economy?
Perfect. So first of all, like again, I'm also ruthlessly honest. He rightly said, right, that students, it's the academics, right, is always bottom to top. Like everything experiment is on students, not on teachers. I don't know why. I mean, why not internship for teachers?
We go to industry, we have a 2 months training, and then we come back with the latest latest happening in the industry, and then we just deliver that in the classroom, and then we go for the practical implementation.
So I recently visited Somaya, and it was basically for a no-code training, and the first thing which we did is like within I think 1 hour we built 7 apps, and the teachers built it. So all the teachers were distributed in teams, and teachers built 7 apps, and everything was related to academia. कि हमें पेपर चेकिंग में ज़्यादा टाइम जा रहा है, ऑटोमेट करो. हमें अटेंडेंस में ज़्यादा टाइम जा रहा है, ऑटोमेट करो. Right? So we were actually finding the problem statements and we were creating the apps. So not against any university, but 90% of the universities pretend that they know AI, but they don't know AI. And specifically universities, right? So I'll be very honest to that. If you really want to know AI, first know the fundamentals of AI. And she also rightly mentioned that we are talking about level Z when you don't know level A, right? So fundamentals like first principles, I don't know how many people have read this book, but first principle is an amazing book you should start with because everything goes in fundamentals. So if you want to be a good AI engineer, ML engineer, deep learning engineer, it starts from basic. And that is your basic fundamentals in AI, right? So it's not theory. I would rather say that start with practical experiences. So to youth, to students like specifically, I mean, according to the National Education Policy and Niti Aayog, I recently read from standard 8th. And in China, I will tell you, I was just doing a podcast with Scalar School of Technology, right? So he clearly mentioned from standard 8th, they have been very, very aggressive on teaching them AI. And in China, what is happening is, log IV laga rahe. Exams are so difficult, at the standard 8th only, log IV laga rahe और exam de rahe. Obviously, they are aggressive. That's why, something like DeepSeek came in. So, my advice would be not like IV laga lo. My advice would be, as early you can start taking a practical experience from industry. That is the first way to go. Like go for internships, go for short-term projects, and don't think from a payment perspective because I met so many students. Sir, internship, paid hogi, unpaid hogi, kitna milega? Does not matter if you're actually getting an opportunity to work with an AI company who is building a SaaS product. Why not just go there, spend some time? You'll understand the first principles, right? Second part, I would say, when we come to academics, what is the gap? Majorly, I see that the curriculum is generic. It is not specific, right? So, for example, if I want to build something in, let's say, sales, right? Sales SaaS. मेरे को sales सीखना तो आप sales सिखा रहे हो. मुझे sales नहीं सीखना है. मुझे SaaS product बेचना है. उसका sales सीखना है. So, same way in AI, when I come to, they are talking about, again, theory. They are talking about generic ecosystem of AI. Why not going specific? Like how to deploy or how to integrate at least API to your front end, right? So break this curriculum into small segments and then teach that via practical projects rather than, because I have seen students, I mean, I have been representing so many students, right? They're so confused and I've been taking so many interviews right now. They're so confused that they don't know the end outcome. Okay, what do you want to get out of this? So companies are very clear, we need this. But students are like, how to get there? Nobody guides us. So I'm very sure your 90% students सब यहाँ बता के जाएंगे कि ये करो, ये करो, ये करो. कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, किससे करना है, right? So I'll just say that start with something like who are in AI, right? So in India right now, in content creation, when you are in social media, so in youth are on social media. Social media means content. Content means YouTube. YouTube पे सबसे ज़्यादा अभी AI पे कौन चल रहा है? Varun Maya. I don't know how many people know Varun Maya here. So how many people know Varun Maya here? Only one person in the whole room. Like he's one of the AI genius in the country right now. There are so many people who are talking about AI, but Varun Maya is somebody who's actually talking about how to deploy AI in AI agentic world, in content creation, into B2B SaaS, and he's talking about each and everything. But nobody follows him on YouTube. So are we talking about real AI here? I don't know. Is this a real India AI? I mean, Indians are getting ready for AI. I really doubt that. Right? So it's just that we're pretending that we know AI. We really don't know. Let's accept it and then start again. Because once we are at the bottom, we'll hit the top. So that's what my
I think what you have done, you have let's say you have made me to think, redesign my last question. Not with the artificial memory, but 80 billion, madam. Yeah, 80 billion neurons which were there. So, question is open to all, and I think, according to you, what are one of the most underrated AI trends? Everybody is talking about AI, but any underrated AI trends which are there?
Okay. Do you want to start?
Means I didn't got your question. Underrated trend.
Underrated AI trends. There are a lot of things which are happening in AI, but do you feel somewhere there are some AI trends which are there which are underrated?
Underrated. See, the currently what I feel in academics is going on with all the students is ChatGPT, which is a generative AI, and all the students are using it for their assignments, for creating the notes, and for exam preparation. And it is the most dangerous thing the students are doing for themselves. See, a generative AI, ChatGPT, it's a kind of Maggie. It cooks in 2 minutes. See, whenever you are cooking in 2 minutes, it is difficult to digest. Okay, you are just for the pleasure that it tastes good and it is fast. That's why you are going for it. Do you think a company, a multinational company or a national company will take you for 2 minutes Maggie? They are having very big Maggie. So why they will take you? If you want to get a good job, or if you want to have your place in a big market, then cook your own food. Don't go for the lathe. Have a potato vegetable cooked by you. So that will be going in long run, not lathe. Lathe will always harm you. Same with the chat GPT. You are making the chat GPT more and more stronger day by day, and you are becoming the slave of it. Actually, you are becoming. What do you think that if a professor comes with the notes of chat GPT, are you going to accept it? A professor is teaching you just now. There is a lecture at 11 o'clock, and the professor just in 2 minutes they come up with the chat GPT notes and they are delivering it. Are you ready to accept? No. Anyone will be accepting it? How you are expecting that professor can check your assignments, check your exam papers, and check if whatever you are delivering in a chat GPT? How come it is possible? It should be two-way, no? And see, the professor is teaching you for your betterment of future, not for their. Then the professor is going day and night for the research papers, and they are coming up with the latest technology which may not be in the syllabus, so that you can get a good placement, you can become a good citizen, you can contribute to the economy of the country. So, and your parents are playing day and night for your good education. They are putting so much hard work, and here what you are doing, you are making a chat GPT. Okay, you are using a social media. You are giving your time, energy, efforts to make other rich. You know that when you are getting something free, the marketing students know, you become a byproduct. You are the product for them. So
There are no free lunch in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want easy money, or if you want easy 2 minutes, so you expect the company, that company will take you for that 2 minutes. Why they will take you? So don't be the slave of ChatGPT. Just make an assistant of ChatGPT and create your own content. Make that company should require you. Company should not say that, okay, you are from ChatGPT product, I am having my own ChatGPT. Why should I take you? Build that kind of skills, no. Okay.
So the skill enhancement, that is what a key which is there, I
Yes,
think.
and
That
it
is what
goes
key
for
message
the
which is there.
lifetime.
Yeah, for the lifetime.
Nobody can throw you out of the company if you have skills. See, AI, humans have built it. AI have not built the humans. It's the human intelligence who have built the artificial intelligence. So artificial is always artificial. So it is up to your efforts how much you are going to build the artificial intelligence.
Just a question to all the, let's say the people from the industry, any AI trend which you feel that is most underrated?
That's what.
Yeah.
We had enough cases, but I'll go by states.
Yeah.
Kerala state, during the floods, they used an AI where how this algae can be kept within the flooded water so that people can get prevented. It was largely used, major people prevented, but it was suggested by people nothing to do with the governance of government. That software and technology was made by some third parties. They gave it as an open source. It went very well, and it went very viral, where even a common man can speak about that, what all the ingredients to be mixed in the water, so that within the house people can get prevented and disease can be avoided.
That is how they are saying that for the Kumbh Mela as well, they are using the AI
Yes.
in order to manage
No,
that
there
crowd.
actually it's an entertainment. People gather here. Flooders come inside your house, so your survival is very important. Where you are in danger and somebody has to support. See, things are different. You are going Kumbh Mela is purposely you are visiting some place and trying to take chances. There, a treatment could be different, but some water has come inside your home. You are within that, and you can't speak in other language. They use multilingual, only Malayalam, and they are able to do it. One. Second, we had something called community cloud, where during COVID, banks, everybody talks about big core system, everything failed dramatically, where the community cloud, part of some data centers in India, I can name it also, Control as NextGen, they have created community cloud, they put all the NBFCs part of it, and they allowed customers to use their mobile phones using local language. They can try to do funding system, which is again southern part, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Tamil Nadu. 4 states they are able to do business during COVID, more than 1,500 crores, which was again underrated because this all went against the banks, against the government, so nobody visualized, but people still, they were very happy with that than the banking system. And it's again multilingual, they are able to use all those, what are the regulated model of a KYC, of biometrics, everything, but they are able to do it with an instant and they are able to get money. They said within 2 din mein badle din, within 2 days they are able to cover those people to do it. Today they are using it for festivals to get, either you want to buy some sweets, you want to buy some dress, kapda, or crackers. Firecrackers also today they use through the system, where one side we talk about pollution is because of firecrackers, they say pollution is because of automobile and AC systems, nothing to do with firecrackers. Firecrackers still have an authentic system which was supplied by Sivakasi, which is using. These are the AI-based systems which has gone high. Even countries like Dubai used to take that help, and they are trying to promote systems for that, which is part of AI. So we do have it. Again, BR, we can say III, Indian Institute of Insurance, got major claims are from Bihar. They want to get an allegation how to stop that, but they found using the AI, only full-fledged ICU system is only at Patna. Remaining 750 kilometers, they do have more than 40-45 ICUs, but it's not full-fledged. So they took that narration and they used that AI to get it right, and they try to reduce the claims where people got saved because of their lives. So everything looks as a comment, but these are the third-party systems. In our country, they are doing very well, and such systems even change the process policy of the governance and government, where government appreciates an individual can do this much, and it gets more positive to the people. That's what the masses comment, and that's what the real intelligence talks about, what exactly the problem is and how we are able to address the problem. We have to take it up, and the recommendation is what? Instead of seeing from Google data, start uploading data to Google. That's where our country looks from every individual, and authentic information. Again, I'm saying even the research papers, we do have a Google-based PhD concepts of documents getting shared. Use that and try to put that. That's where we can see more. Otherwise, whenever I put artificial intelligence, like our friend said, where everybody talks about only technology. We are more concerned about artificial intelligence in transport, artificial intelligence in healthcare. Within healthcare also defined. Because people should know whenever you do something about artificial intelligence, Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0, those are the concerns part of the government. That's what they have released to all. So being an IT person, we should know. One more underlying thing is what I have seen, majority IT people doesn't know even IT policy process. What's the last amended IT policy? Nobody knows. Anybody knows what's the last IT amended policy? All we talk about artificial intelligence because they are told what not to do. What to do, everybody speaks. The full world speaks about what to do. What not to do, only IT policy speaks. Cyber security IT policy speaks. None of the students know that. Even the academic big system doesn't know that. I can say industry, CEO, CFO doesn't know that. Right? It's alarming. Today, if you see this kind of problems, it's coming because of the system is not properly communicated. I'll end with one narration which you all know day-to-day life. Being a technology person, knowingly we do this mistake. How many people use Ola, Uber? Everyone? Yeah. So what's the formal procedure in Maharashtra? Book a vehicle? Yeah. Go for the place, pay it. Suppose I came from Kandivali, I booked to this college, it showed 780 rupees. Right? Then I removed, I get into others, I change this to the Nagar, which is nearby a mandir. When I put, same places come to 450 rupees. What I'm trying to say, in artificial intelligence, it supports only the corporates, not the common man. We are unknowingly paying blindly more in the name of luxury and something, and the common man is suffering. Suppose if I book from Kandivali to airport, it's 780 rupees. Again 900 rupees. But I book Kandivali to Indira Nagar or whichever Nagar from the JP Nagar, put an Hanuman Mandir ka stopping, same thing comes to 350 rupees. And as per Maharashtra rule, tariff says per kilometer is the cost. People didn't know that. And again, I don't know how many people give feedback to the drivers. 5. Put 2 continuously more than 10 times. You have been called by one of the firm from the government to say why you are not happy with that. There you can mention this. How many people have put it? Nobody did. See, digital transformation in India will be successful when people question. Blindly using is not going to serve us. You have to question. Why I'm saying IT policies, cybersecurity policies do have an option for you. You can write whatever we all debate here. No, you can go and write. Government can take. Because government says nobody kept it, and they keep all the policies for 90 days. None of the IT, whatever you call gold medalist or without water, none of the people contribute. But you want all the systems suddenly could change. See the kind of masses we operate. That's what China does. First they get into the government, they deploy it, they see it out, then only they deploy that. But unfortunately we can't do in our country. But as human, like whatever which we can do best, digital transformation gets more addressed when people question a lot, and it has to get through for that whatever formal things, where intelligence will continue to support that. But how much human intelligence control and try to bring it out, that's where you can see a value system. Again, for the corporate, since as a solution, from part of Mahindra's, we have wrote to both Wooms or Ola Uber. They have given a promo code to us stating like from where the start point, end point. When I put a promo code, it gives me exactly the kilometers what government has authorized. So you can still go to Ola Uber, but as an individual, you can give the feedback only two to the driver, or one you will be called to question it. Then you can give this feedback part of it.
Yeah, that means while using AI, also your natural intelligence.
But as of today, AI is supporting the corporate, not the individuals. Okay. That's a problem.
So from your part, which most underrated?
Again, I'm really disappointed to hear these words, and I'm sorry, I beg to differ from some of the opinion being put here. If this is the attitude, I don't know बच्चे का आगे क्या होने वाला है. First of all, I don't think AI is biased towards corporate or not towards the common man. We are using, I mean, all of you are using ChatGPT. Have you paid? You're not paid, no? Free है. So what corporate? So it's supporting the common man. उनको पैसा नहीं भरा है, फिर भी उन लोग ChatGPT use कर रहे हैं. So first of all, I don't believe that AI is more towards corporate and not towards a common man. I somehow disagree on that point. I also disagree on the point that you should be. Then use calculator. Don't use computer, na. Computer use करो, calculator use करो. जो भी नया technology, why people always shun the new? In fact, you have to adopt it. जितना जल्दी, you cannot stop it. First of all, ये समझ लो. AI आना है. You cannot stop. अब लड़ सकते हो सबकी चीज, लेकिन जो टेक्नोलॉजी आनी है उसको आप रोक नहीं सकने वाले. बराबर है. तो बेटर अब भी सीखो, लर्न करो, so that you are ready for that corporate jobs which ma'am was talking about. Okay, you need to learn that. You got to learn using this. This is what even corporates are going to want. I mean, already people, at least who are in the industry, we know some jobs have been replaced. कंटेंट राइटर्स एक जमाने में जो 25,000 50,000 रुपए लेते थे, आज मेरे को कंटेंट जो 4 थे उस कंपनी में भी एक ही है. ओके, 3 निकल गए. क्यों? क्योंकि कंटेंट मेरे को वहां से मिल रहा है. सो कहने का मतलब यू हैव टू इनफैक्ट अडॉप्ट नॉट शन. ओके, आई थिंक योर क्वेश्चन वाज मोर अबाउट underrated AI. And a discussion went somewhere else. So underrated AI trends. Okay. Okay. So in my opinion, I think one thing which is really underrated, if you talk about AI, is the data. Especially if I see SMEs, companies, corporates, they generate a lot of data, but they ignore it. कंपनी में ही बहुत डेटा जनरेट होता है, और डेटा अगर है तो AI में यूज हो सकता है, because AI is all about learning. I mean, you feed data, the more data you feed, the more data points you feed. Not the amount of data, but the more data points you feed, the more intelligent the system would be. Okay, and that's one thing which I feel it is underrated. It's being ignored. Companies need to understand that there is a lot of hidden data also, which we also help them to discover. Okay, see, for example, I'll give you an example. In Facebook, when you're scrolling, okay, and you stop for 5 seconds, आपने गाड़ी का फोटो देखा, आपने 5 सेकंड रुके, वापस आप स्क्रॉल किए. even that is data point being captured by Facebook. Yeah, so whatever. And then आप वापस किधर एक और कोई color तो that's how Facebook starts doing. You like red color, you are liking cars, okay? Because that's where you pause. वो pause भी आपके लिए उसके लिए data point होता है. So that is what I'm saying, that data that is being ignored by normally most of the corporates need not be ignored. That's really underrated. I think that's one thing. One more thing which I believe is, I mean, there are 2 points when you ask that question and immediately were underrated. Data to hai definitely hai. Maybe if I recall, I'll come back to this point, because my thought went away in all the other discussions which was happening here, and I am really disappointed that we are actually wanting data and social media. Okay, and I think the gentleman touched that subject of social media. I agree. Social media started very holistically. अभी वो social छोटा हो गया, media बड़ा बन गया. I agree, and we all, in fact, everybody is a product which they are consuming.
Yeah.
But you cannot ignore it. तुमको अगर marketer बनना है, तुमको Instagram use करना है, तब जाके तुम customers के लिए, अपने clients के लिए, अपने company के लिए जान सकोगे कि मैं इसमें Instagram में ad कैसे डालूं. Because that's where the world is. तुमको Facebook पे रहना है, you cannot avoid it. You have to be there. Okay, you please don't ignore it. This is the world which is future, which is moving toward that. You cannot ignore just because you don't like it. That's what the world wants it. Even I don't like Instagram. It kills my time. I don't like Facebook. It kills my time. But मुझे तो भाई market करना है ना product को. सीखना है मुझे कैसे चलता है. क्योंकि मेरे customers उधर है. और you have to move where customers are moving. You cannot ignore that. जब किराना स्टोर से वो supermarket बने ना, अरे किराना स्टोर, अरे you cannot ignore superstore because your customers are moving there. And then जब mall बने तो mall में तुमको you have to understand how mall culture works and start using your marketing skills. How to use that? So you have to move where customers are moving. Please don't ignore social media. Whatever people are saying, आप लगे रहो Instagram पे, लगे रहो Facebook पे. खाली एक ही मकसद एक ही उसमें कि you learn how you're going to use that platform to market the products. If you're into marketing, of course.
Yes, your comment, underrated AI trend.
Hello. Yeah. So I totally agree with him. I think we are coming from the same mindset, right?
Yeah.
That whatever is going to come, you cannot just ignore. You have to adopt it. So let me first give the answer to the question. The question is the underrated thing from the country right now, and I'll answer that in a question format. Who is going to be the next NVIDIA from India? Is that not underrated? Where are the GPUs from India? Right? So that's one of the most underrated segment which we are obviously ignoring from AI part. Let me divide AI into 4 parts: computing, algorithms, apps, and data. Data, I already told there is a company known as Scale AI. He talked about data is very important to capture. I'm talking about data is very important to clean.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So that is also an underrated segment. So anybody who can clean data is a big market there out, because all the LLMs and all the companies who are building models are going to reach out to them. It's a very big segment. I don't know why people are ignoring that. Second, I would talk about something known as, which I want to add on to the youth here. How many people know HeyGen as a company? HeyGen. Okay, just research about it. I got a call last week from a Bollywood director. He just gave me a task that, Yash, I want to make a 3-hour movie without actors.
Yeah.
Is that possible? I said yes. Today on social media, when you see the videos, imagine I'm sitting here right now, but he's there, my team is working, and I'm also speaking on social media right now. There is an avatar of mine who is actually talking about something, because social media is the new future, right? No, it's not live. It's not live. What I have done is, because social media algorithm is trained in such a way, jitna aap doge utna wo lega. Jitna aap doge utna wo lega. Because YouTube monetization, I don't know how many people know YouTubers earn. Do you know how much content creators earn? Because I run a podcast channel, I know for a fact. But anybody knows how much content creators earn? Everybody's talking about tech. What about something which is mainstream, right? So that is media. So HeyGen, just research about it. अगर आपको HeyGen में अवतार बनाना आता है, I'm going to pay you $10,000 today for an hour.
Go grab it. It is very simple.
Right?
You have a
It's
remote
very
AI.
simple. It's a very simple application. But if you know how to do it, you're going to earn money. Right? Last time when I came, I talked about logo. I talked about the whole ecosystem. Like how can you launch a brand within an hour? How can you launch a company within an hour? Entrepreneurship is the most underrated thing in AI. I don't know why people want to work only for Microsoft or OpenAI or something like Google. Work in your own way. I am building a company in AI. So entrepreneurship is underrated. And to boil down everything, I'll tell you one skill which is very, very important. That is critical thinking and problem solving.
Yeah.
If these two skills, अगर आपने ये adopt कर ली with an entrepreneurship and sales side, you're going to earn money. You're going to, earn money. I'm just going to tell you that. So underrated segments, I can just go on and on because there is audio, video, text, and image, right? So I can talk about each and every underrated segments. But as I said, everything will be boiled down to video because audio, text, or image is actually connected to a video. So video I have already told about that there are AI avatars. If you're able to create, like for example, they want to promote the institute, right? And they don't, obviously Dean sir cannot go every day and talk about and create videos. You know, हमारे यहाँ admission ले लो, हमारे यहाँ admission ले लो. He can actually use this. And as a student, if you can deploy for him, he will be super happy. Because you're going to get admissions. Right? Just think about this. If you know how to use AI in the particular use application, you can actually, earn money. So rather than underrated, this is the answer.
Sir, I've generated a job. Sir is talking about data cleaning, which is one of the underrated AI tool. See, data cleaning, you just search the book on data warehouse, ETL, extraction, transformation, loading. It's a most simple thing to get all the data and clean the data. Just you are able to do it, you can get the job. And every company requires data cleaning. And it is very, very simple. It's the only name is big. Okay, data cleaning, ETL, data warehouse. But when you start working on it, within an hour, you are able to do it. And there are software which are automated. They can do it for you for 5 minutes. And if you are doing it manually, still you are able to do it. Right. And very simple. So, sir, have generated 2 jobs at this moment only. A video, a movie without
actors and yeah.
Leonardo.in. This is a website, you go for it within fraction of a second. It will give you the pictures, it will generate the videos, and it will give you the audio also. So just go for it.
Yeah, on a lighter note, in that particular movie, if you require an avatar, I will be ready to do that particular
Perfect. I got an actor. So I just, I want to, also conclude on something which I recently got to know. China, Japan, US, all are ahead of us because of only one thing, that are PhDs, coming back to academia. So you asked me this question earlier and I could not answer that, but I'll tell you right away, currently the number of people who are actually preaching AI or teaching AI, they are not PhDs in India. Whereas in Japan, US and everywhere, it's PhDs. 20 years PhDs in AI or something like that. So the major drawback in academia is that the teachers are not PhDs in AI.
But now they are.
Now they are. So obviously, now we are, nothing personal against, but I'm just telling you that this is one of the biggest, bottleneck. Yeah, it's just that we are just exploring now. And every teacher who is going to talk about AI, I believe should be first be a PhD. And if you're a PhD and a subject matter expert, you will be able to take the students ahead too.
Yeah, sir, means now suppose I am a PhD and I have done in computer applications. But yes, when I write the research papers on AI and latest technology, I get all the gist of what the technology want to say and how the technology is working in the market. So the same thing I impart to the students. So if you are not PhD, but your research papers are working, then also it works in the same platform.
I think we will come to last closing remarks.
So since he has mentioned more on PhD, I have done 3 PhDs on that. One is on the missing occupations. One is on getting the behaviors, which I shared more. The third one is cybersecurity in rural India. Yes, that's what it is. Still 250 papers published, so it keeps coming down. Like the reality again, that's what we are trying to see from that. Since he has mentioned how the research gives more in terms of missing occupations, again, artificial intelligence. Good olden days in India, we have some traditional and community-based jobs like cobbler, other things. Those things now getting transformed into technology, and they can attach such things, part of technology which can be delivered by the machines. There are actually a lot more from the government we are trying to invest, and people try to contribute so that the jobs, more than 9,000 jobs missing, part of Maharashtra only. So like that from every state based on the rituals and good olden days, some community based people are doing it and it got matured due to the people getting into education, then why not we bring those jobs also part of it. So there artificial intelligence bringing and that data is given by them. It's not from Europe or something else, it's from our people which they bring it up. The third one is cyber security. The ethics, which again, it's known from the unknown epics, that's where it is built out part of it. And then again, rural India people are more sensitive and cyber security was very, very successful when we try to deploy same thing part of rural. Means they didn't go out of it, we had done enough research part of even an urban versus rural, but cyber security concept, we strongly believe it works a lot more in rural compared to metros and urban because here the lethargic mood and the kind of education what they didn't come across such events or activities happen part of it. So this all three you can see a lot more which artificial intelligence is playing in the back end, but the data is consumed and brought from the people who are trying to deploy it and trying to utilize part of it.
I think I would just like to sum up the whatever discussion which we have. At the start, I think, sir, you asked whether the faculties are using the AI or is the institution is using the AI. I will come to that particular answer to the question. All the script which was there, that was AI driven. So that is where we are using that particular AI which is there. But coming to the end, I think that in the start we said that it will be electrifying and thought provoking, and that was as an institution we always believe in delivery as promised. So that is what we have delivered to the students as well. I hope the students might have got a lot of cues about what is going to be a life in a future, and along with the AI, artificial intelligence, how that particular 80 billion that need to be also taken or that need to be utilized to use that particular AI. So that is what the takeaway which was there from this particular panel discussion which was there. I would like to thank each and every one of you for giving that particular words of wisdom, not only what and how to use the AI, but what not to be done. So I will take your point, sir. It is very important to understand at the same time what is required to be done, but it is very important to understand what is not required to be done. So on this, we will end this particular panel discussion. I would like to thank all the audiences who are there to patiently listening. And just a one or two questions from the audience if they have any. We are short of a time, so we'll restrict to only one or two questions.
In the meanwhile, with the permission of the chair, we can issue a Computer Society of India certificates to all the participants, which you can make it, which we can share with you, like whatever, so that all the participants will get a certificate, which will be again a data for you to start referring in future.
So adding to that, then I have done a course for students specifically in Hindi for ChatGPT, not ChatGPT, but in AI and fundamentals of AI. If you want to take it, I mean, I'm giving to sir, we are giving to students for free. Go and, go for it. I mean, this is what I can give the value back to the students.
Yes. Any more announcements? I think.
No announcement. मैं कुछ free नहीं बांट रहा हूँ. Just एक खाली. Again, Professor Nair, he mentioned about DeepSeek. I don't know how many of you used it, and suddenly it has become one more
sensation.
Please go and put a prompt in DeepSeek for Tamil Nadu is a state in India, and it will give you details about Tamil Nadu, and then put another prompt about Arunachal Pradesh, and it won't. So I don't like we being taken for granted as Indians. I really love my country. I'm a nationalist. I don't want anybody to be using DeepSeek because it is a Chinese product. We don't want our data to go there. Okay. In fact, today only I read in fact last evening I read in a newspaper that government of India is trying to do something with DeepSeek, and they're trying to. I'm surprised why. Maybe it's a strategic move. Okay, and गवर्नमेंट पे क्या काम होता है, उनके लेवल का अलग ही होता है सोच, तो मेरे को नहीं मालूम, लेकिन till that time I don't want anybody of us to pass or any of our data to that country. That's it. Thank you so
I
much.
think point will be definitely noted, sir. Yeah.
Okay, since the mic is in my hand, uh, difficult to, I mean, you should ask this question to ChatGPT. How would the AI would be in 10 years, and you'll get a better answer perhaps than this panel. Okay, try it out. But what I see is, I mean, I'll twist your question. What is emerging, and I think that's very interesting to people to know what in next few years, what I see happening. I think, and what was underrated is also, there are marketplaces for models available, and I think most of them may not know. And you know, AI is all about models, okay? Okay. So there are ready models available in the market today. There are marketplaces where you can just buy the model and build your solution over that model.
Yep.
And this will emerge further. So ready models would be more easily available down the line. There are marketplaces for data. Now AI is all about data. So you need data. Okay. आपके पास अगर नहीं डेटा तो उसके भी मार्केट प्लेसेस अभी अवेलेबल है. Okay. Accuracy level, how much the data is useful to you is question mark, but it has started. People have started selling data so that you can use the data for your building your own AI model, and that I think again is going to become one more trend down the line.
Yeah.
Third thing, ma'am, 2 minutes और.
Yes, sir, please.
Third thing, APIs have started being available now. अगर आपको मॉडल नहीं चाहिए, आपको डेटा नहीं करना है, आपको कुछ नहीं करना है, आपको खुद का पूरा आपका खाली सॉल्यूशन बिल्ड करना है, मॉडल नहीं बनाना है आपको, तो एआई के सॉफ्टवेयर के एपीआई मिलते हैं, यू कैन जस्ट इंटीग्रेट इनटू योर सॉफ्टवेयर. सो I mean, with these kind of systems available, and I think it's going to pick up, AI will definitely become out of the day, because now I don't need to invest, unlike earlier days, in collecting data, cleaning the data, then building a model over it, testing the model, accuracy level, okay, all the thing. अभी मेरे को ready models मिल जा रहे हैं. I'll just take 1 more minute or 2 more minutes more. I'll just give an example. During COVID, I was a volunteer during COVID, and we did a lot of job. And one of the things which we, as a group of volunteers, one initiative, because I'm in startups, so we said, okay, let's identify those startups which will help during the COVID. What are products they have which will be helping either government or the patients or hospitals or whatever, any ecosystem में. And then one thing, अगर आपको याद हो, जो first COVID का जो wave था, उसमें PCR क्या टेस्ट था हुआ था, उसको रिजल्ट आते थे 8-10 दिन लगते थे. It used to take 8 to 10 days, right? And तब तक तो वो patient would have infected maybe 100 other patients. So the idea was to shorten this period कि अगर जल्दी टेस्ट हो जाए तो जल्दी उसको क्वारंटाइन हो जाए. And तभी लेकिन PCR तो we as a entrepreneurs and startup founders, we said, okay, let's can we build an AI model using chest X-rays? X-ray जल्दी हो जाएगा, और उसको AI को अगर सिखा देंगे तो chest X-ray से हम प्रेडिक्ट कर पाएंगे कि इसको कोविड है कि नहीं है. सिंपल. अभी मुझे AI को ट्रेन करने के लिए मुझे एक्सरे चाहिए, वो भी कितने एक्सरे चाहिए? क्लीन एक्सरे मुझे कम से कम 1000 चाहिए ताकि उसको मैं ट्रेन कर सकूं. स्टेज 1 का कोविड लगा हुआ है तो उसका मुझे 1000 एक्सरे चाहिए. स्टेज 2 का एंड स्टेज 3 का, वी सेड विल गो अप टू 3 स्टेज, कि हम उसको ये भी प्रेडिक्ट कर देंगे कि कौन से स्टेज का कोविड है. अभी एक्सेस मिलेंगे कहाँ हमको? Believe me guys, somebody in USA helped us. Readily एक्सरे अवेलेबल थे, हमको खाली उठाना था बस. सो कहने का मतलब डेटा अवेलेबल होता है, कई चीजों में हमको नहीं मालूम होता है वो डेटा. अभी कई लोग डेटा ऑलरेडी डालना शुरू कर दिया है. अगर जो आज के स्पेशली यंग जनरेशन, दे नो GitHub and all those things are the places where you should go and scout. ओके. और वहां आपको कहीं टाइम पे आपको लगता है कि यार मेरा डेटा नहीं है, मेरे को एआई मॉडल बिल्ड करना है, डेटा अवेलेबल होता है मार्केट पे, आपको खाली उसको ढूंढने से खुदा भी मिलता है, तो डेटा तो मिल जाएगा.
So, but Sir, to your question, I will take the example of ChatGPT. Now, OpenAI came with ChatGPT 4, and it was given an instruction to get the bank account. So it was allowed to open a website which was asking for the human assistance. Now, what happens when we go for a bank account? It asks for a captcha. So captcha is something means it is the image, random image, or it can be a text which the robot is not able to solve, or the chat gpt itself cannot solve it. You require a human. So what ChatGPT have done, it has asked for the human assistance. It went to a website. It asked that we need to solve this captcha. So as a human, it asked that whether you are a robot. So ChatGPT answered it that no, I am a human, but I am visually impaired. I cannot see. And the human believed, and human solved that captcha for ChatGPT. And ChatGPT was able to enter into the bank account. So it's all about how the humans are operating that machine. It's not about the machine. So what we are doing today, we will be facing in the after 10 years. That's what I want to answer your question.
Can I just quickly answer that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, answering to his dialogue, he just said, okay, there is a marketplace. Answer to that is Hugging Face. Hugging Face is the marketplace where you can get everything. Coming to your question, today we are in AI. Tomorrow we are in AGI, that is Artificial General Intelligence. Day after tomorrow is AI plus robotics. Uske baad AI is equal to God. That is an article from a Chinese, again, a Chinese website, which is, so AGI is specifically where we are going. The next step is AI agents. What she said is AI agent. Today, only on prompting, I can build an app, which we do. I can, like, it's just like I want to do a task, right? I don't want human involvement. I want that my flight ki tickets book ho jaye. Right? I just write, hey, book my ticket from Mumbai to Bangalore, and I'll just give the date, right? That person, the GPT will go, or GPT, or you can say AI agent, will go to the travel website, search for the best, flight, book it, come back, book it, and it will take the bank account details, payment, and everything is done. Only the OTP and everything will be with you. So you'll be entering that, and that will be booked. So that is where the next step is. That is what I said. 2025 is about AI agents. Then it is AGI, and then it is AI is equal to God. So that is, if 2027 we are looking at AI is equal to God, if there are no regulation restriction. If there are no regulation restriction, then we'll be there.
2030, 2031, we can have academics and health having the newly born child from after 1972, 1975. Data will be available across the globe for internally government authentic purpose. No, they will not. They will not. They will not.
There is one more point I wanted to add. Sorry. So currently the AI is having problem in terms of the cost of hardware, and which is where it is expected to go down. And one of the invention that has been done on DeepSeek is one of that. So more of the commoditized hardware on which AI can run is also going to be improvement next 10 years that we see. The cost of hardware going down, basically.
Okay, so thank you everyone for this and captivating panel discussion. Yeah. So.
See, AIA that you referred to is, according to Washington Times, article given by your teacher. I made one slide out of that. Is already in operation by the 5 companies that I mentioned, including Johnson & Johnson. It's only a question of time as to when it will be transplanted across the world. See, so I think you gave me one article, Washington Times, isn't it? So I used that in my last slide. So AIA is already in operation. It's a question of whether you want to bring it here or to some other country.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you. It was a nice discussion.
I would like to extend my gratitude to our panel members and the moderator for this informative session. Now I request Dr. Smita Jape, Associate Professor and the Dean Academics of BRIMS to come on stage and propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. I think we already have a long session, so and it was expected to complete by 1 o'clock, but still now it's 1:30, so I will not take much of your time. But of course, a lot of people have taken efforts behind this conference, and hence it's my pride privilege to propose as a convener vote of thanks. So just give me a few more minutes. As we stand at the culmination of this inaugural conference, I am honored to express our deepest gratitude to all those who have been architects of this resounding success. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to our esteemed chairman, Vidya Prasarak Mandal, Dr. V.V. Bedekar, Dr. Nitin Joshi sir, director of the institute, for their commitment, vision, and constant support. Their guidance and leadership have always been instrumental in shaping this conference and paving the way for the impactful discussions today what we have on AI. We are thankful to our Director, Director General Dr. Guru Prasad Murthy, for his insightful speech on AI. He had talked about AI in education. Dr. Joshi sir had covered about AI in business with lot of insights regarding the fusion strategy, mentioning about how important areas are there in fusion strategy, talking about data graphs, algorithms, and dynamics, and told how ABCD in that regard of AI is important. So we are thankful to both of them for their insightful sessions and wonderful and excellent presentations. I would also like to extend my gratitude to our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Sharad Gangal, Chairman TJSB, whose presence has added a great value and inspirations to our deliberations. His insights and wisdoms on AI have truly enriched our understanding of the challenges and opportunities from the human relation perspectives and his expectations in the realm of AI. To our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Shastri, we are deeply grateful to you, sir, for your presence and contribution to the conference. We are honored that you have graced this occasion by traveling all the way from Bangalore to share your expertise and insights. Thank you, sir. A special word of appreciation to our keynote speaker, Binesh Nair, whose enlightening address has set the tone for our discussions and motivated all of us to think innovatively and act decisively in the pursuit of AI. I would like to extend a special word of gratitude to you as a keynote speaker for this august presence and giving us a lot of insights with his interesting and very enthralling speech covering the balanced perspectives, talking about the automation, augmentation, understanding, hegemony versus democratization, China versus and US. The example which you have quoted were quite relevant, and we have understood the importance of it. And of course, a lot of other examples which have given towards the sustainability. So that has really made a keynote address for our conference. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. I would also like to thank all the distinguished panel members, Nain Beda sir, Monica Apte madam, Yash Sangvi sir, Suresh Shan sir, and our moderator, of course, our alumni and assistant professor Prathamesh sir, for their invaluable contribution and, of course, thoughtful, provoking insights during the panel discussions. We have pro as well as cons, and then there were a lot of I think insights and lot of things which every panel member was wanted to add over there, but then because of the time limit, I think we could still get a lot of provoking insights from the entire panel discussion. So your expertise of all the panel members and their diverse perspectives, which you have covered everyone in different areas that have enriched the panel discussion, and you provided us with a greater and deeper understanding in nature of AI. Last but not the least, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the committee members and volunteers who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure the smooth execution of the event, because this is the first half. In the second half, we are also expecting lots of contributions from students, because there are research paper presentation competitions are there for faculty, for students, and there are again competitions on AI application for students, so which will run in parallel. So there will be 4 classrooms where these kind of presentations are going to take place in the afternoon. So there are a lot of efforts which are taken by many people for making this event successful, and for arranging all these competitions and getting lot of teams for participation in these competitions. So the dedication and hard work of all these members have been truly commendable, and without their support, this conference would not have been possible. So let us carry forward the spirit of innovation, collaboration ignited by this conference. Let's continue our collective efforts for the rest of the day now for another 5 hours. Thank you once again to everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. We thank to the esteemed judges again for the competition, Dr. Brijesh Sharma, then Dr. Agarkar, Professor Neil sir, Professor Gill sir, then Professor Deshmukh sir, who has accepted our invite for adjudging this competition for paper presentation as well as for app competitions on AI, which is scheduled now in the afternoon. We extend our heartfelt thanks to these for their gesture for accepting this invite. Special thanks to our sponsors, University of Mumbai, AICT, for their support. And we also express our gratitude to our vendors, faculty members, students, presenters, PhD scholars for their research paper presentation, as well as contributors for Srujan Journal. An event of this cannot simply materialize overnight, so it takes a lot of planning, of course, meticulous attention, critical also attention to the details. And hence we have been fortunate enough to be backed by various faculty and committee members, which includes a long list starting with Srujan publication headed by Dinesh sir, guest contacts, invites, mementos by Aditi madam, Vibhuti madam, stage committee by Kanchan madam, hospitality by Pandit sir, Naina madam, IT team by Lasune sir, Paresh Kishore, press report coverage by Sanjar sir and Dipali Hindalekar, certificates by Lasune sir, panel moderation, of course, Prathamesh sir, discipline, registration, attendance by Papat sir, paper presentation arrangements by Dipali madam, brochure print, social media coverage by Chaitanya sir, and accounts department and admin department, of course, along with the staff members of accounts, Pranita, and other peons in the admin. I extend my sincere thanks to all these committee members for their dedication towards this event, for making it grand and successful. Last but not least, I would also like to thank our students organizing committee members, volunteers, students, those they have done the comparing, and then again they have another 5 hours for that. So thanks to all our college students and students from other institutes also, those they have participated in the competition, for patiently listening, and of course for participating. So once again, I thank to all. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being such a wonderful audience and for your patience. Let's have a break for lunch. I request our dignitaries and the outside students to fill the feedback form, which is available on the desk. Thank you.